How's it going, everyone? Back with another stream, but it's not just another stream. We have arguably, I don't want to say this to your face because I'll actually be complimenting you here, but
Go
honestly,
ahead.
I think I have my favorite streamer from the pandemic. Like, we everyone had a rough year and a half, and people had to work from home and stuff. And I always liked having streams in the background, and Control Freak here is a Death Shadow player, and just having him on and just watching him pilot every variation of Death Shadow, and just like somehow he would have just chat build a Death Shadow deck and win. And it's awful. So I'm like really excited to have him on today. So happy because now we get to kind of merge two worlds together. I am an Abzan guy. Control Freak is a Death Shadow guy. We put them together. We have Abzan Shadow, which has not been that prevalent in modern, but it'll be interesting to see how well we can do. Hopefully, we can rattle off some wins today. So Control Freak has done very well recently with Death Shadow. He's won a couple challenges, top 8 a bunch of challenges. I feel like every time I go 3-2, I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then Mike's like, oh, I just top 8 a challenge. Like, it's okay, like, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I can't keep up with this guy. So I'm really happy to have him on for today. This should be a really fun stream. So, Mike, do you want to talk about the deck that you brewed for the co-stream today?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me on today. I really appreciated you reaching out with the invite. I thought that the cause was great, getting to contribute to some multiple sclerosis research funds, getting to see this raffle play out, to be a part of one of these leagues. Super exciting. Um, as far as the less exciting part, this abomination of a deck that we've thrown together here. So, as you know, you're a big Thoughtseize Tarmogoyf person. I'm a big Thoughtseize Death Shadow person. Why can't the two worlds of Abzan and Death Shadow kind of intertwine a little bit here and see what happens? On the stream, we've previously played like some Esper Death Shadow with Stoneforge Mystics. One of the cards that I know I poke quite a bit of fun at you for enjoying, but ultimately is just an extremely powerful and efficient magic card. So what if we got to take a little bit of the benefit of Stoneforge and playing that grindier mid-range game that Abzan's known for, but add in just this explosive clock ability with Death Shadow and Street Wraith, a little bit of the deck manipulation with like Mishra's Bauble, and see how it turns out. We get to add these new tools like Prismatic Ending and Vindicate. Kai's Gal's been insane. So why not just lump a bunch of good stuff together and see what happens?
Mm-hmm. And the card that stood out to me that I'm really glad you added was the Cauldron Complot. And I think this card has actually not been that great in regular abs at mid range, but since we're just pressuring the removal so much more in this setup of Death Shadow Tarmogoyf deck, I think having a Stoneforge Mystic stick and then just finishing the game with a Cauldron and like just having another way to just kill someone out of nowhere with haste is a really cool inclusion. So I'm really excited to see how this card performs in this specific deck.
Right. I think it's going to be pretty good. You always hear about people talking uh the the Nombo of Death Shadow with Batterskull, which is one of the big popular targets to always get off your Stoneforge Mystic, which we included in the 75 because there's decks like Dredge that Batterskull just shuts down, decks like Burn, but having the Cauldron in the main to replace it that doesn't act as a Nombo with Shadow and just gets your opponent dead is a huge, huge, huge upside.
So now that I look at the list a little bit closer, do we just want like a third Liliana maybe and just have two Lingering Souls? I know this is like a last minute change,
Oh,
but
I'm all for it. Like, I love me some Liliana. Play that
I,
card for years and years and years in Jund, and
and
I could
how
absolutely get
has
behind them.
how has Liliana felt in like Death Shadow lists? Have they felt okay? Like it's obviously not a common card
Right.
in
So like
Shadow.
recently with all the shadow lists moving almost exclusively to Luris, Liliana's been completely pushed out of the deck.
Mm,
But previously, we've had a lot of Grixis iterations without Luris, and Liliana was a pretty popular choice in those builds. It might not be heavy on Lily like this deck is, maybe one or two copies in the sideboard for the grindy mid-range matchups and the mirrors, but it's definitely a card that's seen its days in shadow lists.
mm. I guess Luris is a big one. I'm just like thinking like Grixis too, since Grixis doesn't have a companion, or at least not
Right.
recently. I'm just trying to think like in the past when it had like Gurmag Anglers instead of Regents where you couldn't have Luris in the companion anyway. But like I feel like that deck you really don't want have 3 drops, right? Which makes
Hmm.
sense. So I guess you had like Kolaghan's command, but then like having 2 Kolaghan's command and then like there's no room for Liliana's, right?
Right.
So yeah. Let's thank you for the follow. So let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
I'm
I'm
excited. This
excited.
is this is gonna be a train wreck. I know. We're gonna play Stoneforge Mystic. It's gonna die, and then you're just gonna shit all over it.
Probably. Like Wooba's out here asking if we've tested the deck. Absolutely not. Like we're going in blind.
This is 100% impromptu. Like it's funny because like I messaged you like maybe like a couple weeks ago, and then I was like, "What should we play?" I don't know, some sort of Abzan Shadow, and it was like literally like yesterday or 2 days ago. I was like, "We should probably work on a list."
Ah, it's fine. It's fine.
It'll all work out, you know.
See, as far as I'm concerned, if I can work through some of the lines with like Bauble and Wraith and the fetch land, some of the things that Abzan doesn't see as much, and you can come up with when we need to play Stoneforge and Lingering Souls and the Liliana lines and stuff like that, then we're good.
I'm
Somewhere
telling you right
between the
now, you always play the Stoneforge Mystic on too. I don't care.
all right, it's your stream. I'm down to give it a shot.
It's my tickets that we're setting on
But
fire, not yours. That's what we're saying.
exactly. But I feel like somewhere between the two of us is an okay, competent-ish Magic player. They might be able to navigate through this league.
Hopefully, I mean, I will say a 3-2 would be a success. An
I'm saying
untested
4-1 or
list.
bust.
Oh my god, no way. With Abzan Shadow, when was the last time an Abzan Death Shadow list 5-0'd anything? Like, that has to be
Um,
way too long ago.
it's probably somewhere right after Varal's got printed. People are obsessed with scavenging a Death Shadow onto Varal's
Oh
or onto
god.
Lingering Souls.
This looks like a keeper.
I'm for it.
So, with this type of hand, especially with the Thought Season hand, do you always just fetch shock in this scenario?
Well, we get the benefit of seeing a little bit about what our opponent's doing first,
Mm-hmm.
but like in this case, probably not fetching and shocking. But I do want to get the thought seize because like this Swift Spear is hitting for a little bit of damage, but I would much rather get like a Stormwing entity out of hand
Yeah, I
and
was thinking
not
the
have
same
to deal with
thing.
that.
Yeah, because like now, like we can actually kind of lower our life total without having to fetch shock, and then we can just
Right.
deal with the Swift Spear the turn later if need be, or a turn after we just slam a Goyf. So, is there a specific land we want to use here? Are we going to use Catacombs or Flats? I'm assuming we're going to just fetch a Swamp, probably, or do you want to fetch
Yeah.
shock?
I think I'd just use Catacombs for a swamp since we got the second Catacombs. But I mean, we've got like all of our basics covered if we need them. So
Because this is like, is it Phoenix, which is going to be, or sorry, is it Prowess, which we haven't seen in a while actually. I think we just take
right,
the Dragon here, just keep them
I
off
like it.
threats. Yeah.
This Tarmogoyf can just do a decent job of stone walling this Swift Spear.
Mm-hmm. I heard there's a Death Shadow streamer in this stream, but not playing garbage cards like Ten the Pest
Shots fired.
or Shark Typhoon.
Just playing garbage cards like Stoneforge Mystic and
Hey.
what did I
So,
say that out loud?
all right, so what are we doing? Are we just slamming a Goyf? I feel like, ooh, that was decent. Now we can
That was a
bauble
pretty
trick
good one.
ourselves, right? I think we have
We,
better value that way.
yeah, like if we're planning on fatal pushing especially, then Bobble Trick looking for a second removal spell can be huge here.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not planning on fatal pushing, then we might just want to like fetch up the basic forest regardless. Ooh, Shadow. I like a
Yeah,
Shadow.
that's a pretty decent draw. Do we want to use our mana efficiently and slam the Goyf with the Peatland, or do we just want to save life potentially and play the push?
So they've got Mountain Bolt Lava Dart in
Yeah.
hand.
So
So
3,
that's
5,
4,
6, 7,
5
8.
potentially to the Goyfs. They could like kill or eat the Goyf with a Swift Spear, but
Mm-hmm.
we get to untap with Fatal Push and Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be all right.
I
I
think
don't
that's
hate
better,
that
right? Yeah. So
because
let's
they're
do
gonna have to
that then.
point like all that burn at or some of that burn at the Tarmogoyf to be able to
Yeah.
kill it.
Mm-hmm. Why is Mike not streaming? Because Mike's
Because I'm
on
on here.
my yeah. I stole him. He's mine for the day.
I'm not technically savvy enough to be on someone else's stream and stream myself.
So this is a tough spot for them, actually. Now that I kind of reevaluate, assuming what the top card is. I mean, if they
And
like
this,
drew, sorry, go ahead.
right? I was just gonna say this is kind of the benefit of a card like Death Shadow is you just get to put this really big piece of pressure on the board, and if your opponent's not careful or they deal too much to you but can't kill you or something like that, then Shadow just gets absolutely out of rage or out of control big.
Mm-hmm. So then I feel like I just block because we're going to stick to the plan here. So do we? I guess it depends on what the next draw is.
Are they
But
planning on going all in on killing this Goyf with burn? Or because right now, like it's trading with the Swift Spear, which is absolutely fine with us.
yeah, like sure.
Exactly.
So now we just slam
Yeah.
shadow, hold, push.
Yeah, I think I would like Slam Shadow and maybe play the Plains and just plan on cracking the Peatland if they don't do anything relevant.
Interesting. Just because we want action.
Right.
What's the difference between this and like playing a fetch and just getting that mana online?
Just not needing to take the 1 damage right now.
Because I just feel like the
'Cause-
basic planes are just so awkward. And if we like draw a Tarmogoyf, we're gonna have to fetch for the green anyway.
Right, but just being able to delay that decision has a lot of power.
So that cracking is good. Okay. In what world do we push now versus just holding and untapping?
Um, at the moment, I'm probably leaning towards just cracking the peatland, and it just gives us a little more information about what our next decision is going to look like.
Oh, how many basic swamps do we have?
Should just be one.
One. Ooh, that's tough. We have-
Let's see. So they've already flashed back their darts. They got nothing in the yard.
yeah.
I'd probably just lead with Inquisition and plan on like fetch shock pushing the Swift Spear depending on what they do.
I
Like
like this line too.
I know it's not like the most optimal use of mana or whatever since you're having to like awkwardly fetch and shock here, but it is presenting lethal next turn with that shadow, and you're not going down to 3 life, which is huge. Like, you want to stay above 3 here.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is nice because then we just also just sets up Lily on a less next turn. Like
Right.
we are in a decent spot. I guess the question now is like, how greedy do we want to be? Like, are we fetch shocking for lethal next turn?
It depends what our opponent shows us.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they also get a redraw of Bauble too. So
right.
they were actually dead to a lot of things, like haste threat plus burn spell. That's a card we knew about.
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay. So now we just like Liliana minus, hold up, fetch, make them block.
Yep.
Or we just win the game.
Or just kill them.
Or we just win
One of
the
the
game.
two.
Easy money. Easy money.
So we should have a godless shrine to get off this, I believe.
Yep.
If I was doing okay at making a mana base, then there should be a godless shrine somewhere. Love it. And this is like the benefit of playing Death Shadow is you just end the game quickly once it gets down.
I mean, this is turn 5. I'm not used to attacking with or winning after 2 combat steps. Like this is very unfamiliar territory with me.
Right, and it's turn 5 with an opening hand that was 4 lands, Goyf, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push.
Yeah.
And we just drew the shadow, and it was like, cool, game's over.
Yeah.
Good try, opponent.
And like especially in combination with Tarmogoyf, they spent two cards and a land to deal with one, and a Swiss Spear. They 4-1 themselves just to deal with one Tarmogoyf. Absurd. So what do we like here? I think I like the Kaisgeil and the Batterskull. Do we want to we'll probably want Batterskull in this matchup, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if we've got something in the board like Batterskull that means we don't have to go down low on life, then I'm all for it. Like, Shadow's a great threat, don't get me wrong, but if you got something that just says I win the game without having to even put yourself in that risky position, then deal all day.
So I kind of want to board out the Cauldron complete, just because having a Stoneforge Mystic stick is kind of rough, and even then we're just probably fetching Batterskull 90% of the time. Or do you want to keep it?
I'm fine boarding it out, like boarding out some wraiths, and like even if you wanted to board out all the wraiths and bring in like a Vindicate over one of those spots, that could be fun.
Yeah, I
Just
think
another hard piece of removal.
Just another answer for Storming Entity or Murktide Regent if they get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Stormwing is by far the most annoying card for like any shadow variant to deal with, and having
Same.
all of these just straight up kill it answers is super nice.
Do we want more? Probably not, right? I think I'd rather have a Lingering Souls, probably.
I agree. Like, we do need to close the game out at some point. Even a couple 1/1s does more than nothing.
Yeah. Death Shadow's a stupid magic card.
Ban it, too good.
Ban it too good. Would you quit Magic if they banned Death Shadow?
I'd have a long talk with Wizards R&D if that happened.
I think we just mulligan this, right? We have like 3 3-drops.
I'd probably say you're right. Like,
No interaction.
Shadow really wants to lean on those early plays.
Do we just keep this? I don't think we can go to 6.
I mean, I like it better than the first hand.
Yeah.
Obviously, the triple Guile's a little awkward, but
I think we can bottom solid. 1. Yeah, let's just keep him bottom 1.
I'm down. Like, against any of the red-based decks, as you know, Tarmogoyf's just super powerful.
Yeah. Unless it's against this card.
Nah, that's fine. That's pretty good draw.
I mean, do you care which land we play first?
If we're getting a basic on turn 2, Then I'd probably lead off on like
Heath.
Windswept Heath. Yeah, maybe get a Temple Garden and then like basic swamp off the catacombs.
And then probably lead on Stoneforge Mystic unless they have unless they play like a sorcery. But I kind of like baiting out with Stoneforge Mystic first, probably, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
I think you kind of want this Tarmogoyf to sit around.
Yeah. I mean, the other alternative, we can play the Goyf to bait him out, but I don't want to like lose my Goyf to just a simple bolt. Oh, the
Right.
backup Stoneforge Mystic helps.
All
So
right, Stoneforge, your time to shine.
do you like basic Swamp here then?
Yeah,
Knowing we
I do.
okay.
It's like one of the nice things about Death Shadow and these kind of matchups is like you get to put cards into play that your opponent has to deal with, and then when they do and chip you down with damage, you just get to say, "Here's this 1 mana like 7/7. Good luck bolting it."
Yeah. I think I like getting Batterskull Skull here and incentivize him to bolt this. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I'm for it.
I kind of like Shadow as like a contingency plan because we just have so many threats in our hand, and they also just are
Right.
stuck on lands too. Like if they just if this is like their game plan, just going second Stoneforge Mystic, getting another sword seems fine because they're just so bottlenecked.
Right.
Ooh, another channeler is interesting. So here, do you like Stoneforge Mystic again, or do you think it's time to slam the Goyf?
Let's see if we find a land. Except no lands.
Hmm.
Goyf is a 3/4.
Yeah,
I'd probably just say second Stone Forge.
I think so
Cause like
too.
I kind of want this Goyf to be at a point where even if it gets bolted, it can still like stand in front of something a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Golly. I mean, I guess they had a one lander, so their hand must be gas, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we draw a land, next turn might be the time just to go like Shadow plus Tarmogoyf.
I mean, I'm always a fan of going Shadow plus Tarmogoyf. Speaking my language.
Okay. I
Tarm
guess we just slam Goyf.
Tarmogoyf it is.
Yeah. The deck is just piling it itself on its own.
Well, if we can find that third land, we've got these Guiles, we've got Sword of Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
So we can always like get a sword down and strap up a shadow or something.
Yeah.
But
Oh my. Did not expect that
opponent,
one. Opponent's gone in the deep end.
that card was popular for like a week, and then I didn't see it for a while, so I assumed it just kind of like fell out of favor.
Hmm. This is not looking good
Well,
for the home team. I think we just slam a Goyf and then just pray, but looks kind of awful.
I'd probably put a shadow down and pray. Like the Goyf doesn't die to bolt, but the shadow, if he's got to attack, it has a better chance of living through the turn
That's fair.
and
That's fair.
being a relevant card going forward.
Yeah. If they have another thread, well, I mean, if it's they wouldn't get the shadow, they're at 17, but that would be pretty brutal.
Steven, wow, 230 viewers for these two losers. I know, right? I'm as shocked as y'all are. But no, Aspiring Spike came in, had a big raid earlier, so we've got a bunch of people who are apparently confused into thinking that they're still watching Spike stream and decided to stick around for a bit.
We got the lurkers that forgot to turn off their phones. Okay.
It's a Stormwing finally.
Oh, goodness. How do we win this game?
Opponent has internet connectivity issues. Their internet service provider calls and says, "Hey, you haven't paid your bill in like 4 years. You need to collect."
What do we block? Do we just block the Soulscar Mage?
How big is the Tarmogoyf? Three,
It's a
four?
3/4, yeah.
Let's see. I'd probably just block the Tarmogoyf. Like the shadow surviving inside of combat, regardless of which one you block. So I would just go for the block more damage currently and make him do something.
But then don't we want to clear the board? I feel like if they have any interaction, we're just dead, right? So it's like, because if they
More
have
than likely,
any,
yeah.
so like, wouldn't we want to just try to clear the board and block the Soulscar Mage? Or are we worried about damage consumption?
I'm a little more worried about damage consumption right now. Um, like neither block is great, but we get to follow up next turn with like another shadow, and we're just trying to like find a way to outlast this Stormwing entity for just a little bit.
Mm. Okay. So we could go shadow. We could go double shadow.
Let's see. If we think that our opponent can't kill us next turn with the Stormwing entity, then I'd probably say double shadow is our best bet, because I think it gives us the best chance of getting multiple blocks and these Kai's really carrying some weight. But we are just dead to like a lightning bolt if we
Yeah.
do that.
They did top with the storming entity. They topped one.
So
I th-
maybe there's an argument for holding up Kai's and just like sack a dude, gain 4, or sack a dude, exile their yard to shut off Dragon's Rage Channeler or something like that.
Yeah, because they're one type card away. They either need a sorcerer or a bauble and Channeler's online.
You know, like if they scribe something to the top here, I'm expecting it to be either a burn spell or a way to get Delirium online.
Yeah, so is our play to like not lose and play Kai'Sgale, or are we gonna try to win and potentially double shadow and just potentially have lethal? But I feel like maybe the not dying line is also a turn where we can also just win. I'm trying to figure out a way we can kill him. We really need TBR in this deck. Do we just?
I'm
Do
gonna
I?
err on holding up Kaya's Guile,
I think so
because
too.
I think
Because
like sacking, make a 1/1 or something to block could have some weight.
I also think I think if they bottomed with the storming, I would play double shadow. But the fact that they topped makes me want to play the Kaya's Guile.
I could get behind that. Like, so was the burn spell.
So it's to us. So we would have lost. Okay. Are they gonna go all in though? That's the real question. Oh, they upkeep it. That wasn't even the draw step. Why would they upkeep that? What is the point?
Didn't they already know their scribe?
Yeah, and their draw assuming is Manamorphose here. Interesting. Unless you're just
So do we have to exile their yard and make a 1/1?
yeah, I think so.
Like
I think
exile the yard, make a 1/1, block souls. Oh man,
Oh God.
went deep.
I felt like we had yeah. I feel like we had a turn where we could have Kaya's Gal this turn, potentially Kaya's Gal next turn, and crack back with Shadow, but I think the Spyro makes things kind of awkward. Oh,
Right.
I should have sacked and made a 1-1 response to this. That was my bad. With double dart, are we just dead anyway though? We're
We
at
sack the double
10.
dart. We block 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're dead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did
Yeah. I
not
think we just
draw third
needed to
land.
make that third land in time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if we got to hit those Kai's gals on turn 3, turn 4, then
Yeah.
that game's completely different.
Yeah. Well, we just had dead cards, and by the time we were able to cast a Kai's Gal, like they had fodder just to
Right.
sack to. So
See, real Levi making a 1-1 is bad with dart in the yard, or making 1-1 with dart in the yard's bad, right? Well, it all
yeah,
happens at the same time, so they can't like let the 1-1 resolve and then dart it before uh Kai's gal exiles their yard. Oh no, no.
deck. What are you doing, Mog Marshall? Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. All right, we have to keep
Okay.
this 5. Yeah, Vindicate's probably the bottom here.
Thing like Vindicate clearing.
Yeah, probably.
All right, Stoneforge. I need you to impress me right here. All I'm asking for is
So what are we fetching here? Probably just like a Godless Shrine, right? Yeah.
probably gonna say we can see what they do. So you could just get like a tap Godless Shrine, untap and prismatic ending this,
Yeah.
unless you just want to get the Stoneforge down.
I'm down to just ending it right now.
Sure.
Okay. Probably just play the flats and get an overgrown tomb, and then we can untap with the Verdant Catacombs.
I like it.
So this looks like a Stoneforge Mystic hand where we really need to rely on it to win the game.
Right.
No threat is insane.
Love to see it.
Are we just getting overgrown tomb now? Tapped?
I think so.
Yeah. Best card probably would be discard spell off the top.
Thoughtseize one time.
Yeah. Nope.
Almost.
Oh,
Almost.
close. So I just gonna play Stoneforge, but what card should we get? Should we just get a sword?
Almost a hard cast battles for Batterskull range.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't hate this sword. It's like if we do end up getting down a shadow, then being able to protect it from whatever is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Batterskull is kind of like the go unanswered win the game card.
Yeah.
And I mean, like a braid would be kind of annoying, but that's going to be annoying for either one.
Yeah.
I think I'd just get the Batterskull.
Okay.
Like
It's also
we're
just
one
another
land away from-
threat. Yeah.
right.
Because we can't cast a shadow, and if they enter the Stoneforge Mystic, we're just kind of dead in the water.
Right.
Are we untapping with a Stoneforge? No. Spoke too soon.
So we can just like add the Luris in our board to the hand. And
Okay. Luris would be good here, not gonna lie. So they could Stormwing here, which would suck.
wonder why they didn't Stormwing last turn.
Maybe they didn't have the Manamorphose. I don't know.
Maybe.
Do we fetch here? Or do we just hold it up?
I think I'd fetch for the thinning. I know everybody talks about like thinning percentages not being a a real thing, but it is non-zero.
So we have, oh, the fact that like we don't, there's nothing that we can really tag with revolt, left fatal push anyway. The only other
Right.
argument is like Mishra's bauble, but like that's fine.
I,
So
there is an argument for Bobble, but I like
yeah,
just getting closer to a Kaya's Guile or something like that. And I hope
yeah,
they're not sitting on a Spell Pierce, like
spell
waiting
pierce would
for a
be
Guile or a
yeah.
Vindicate.
I think I just get Overgird in turn right, or do you want the second white source?
Um,
Like we gotta look at our deck again. Like
acting
I
like
don't
I
think
remember what's in the deck.
like there's a world where we want to like Liliana plus push is the only reason why I think I'd want a black source. We could also go like Stoneforge plus ending is why I would want the white, but then we don't have either. I kind of like going
Uh,
Overgrown too, right? So that we can get Liliana plus Shadow if
yep,
that's a turn.
I like that.
Something, anything.
Um,
Kazu Spitty, thank you for the follow.
so we put
Uh,
Manamorphose in our deck too, right? Just for such an occasion.
Even then, we can't even kill a Storming right now.
Fine, we'll figure it out.
Oh no. This is just like the most awkward combination of cards against the single Storming entity.
I mean, on the bright side, like opponents over here being a try hard. We're over here enjoying life. Who's the real winner here?
I mean, their name is on the play. Like that's as spiky as you can get. Um, how do we win this game? If they, if we need to either draw Kaya's Guile or Liliana or Lingering Souls, would they
Yes.
kind of hit us a bunch, and then maybe we can play a Shadow. So that's we literally need to draw probably Lingering Souls or Liliana or Kaya's Guile or Vindicate, like right now. Oh wow, they're going hard.
I
Real
mean, if
winners
they
are the
go
people that are
hard
not
and
playing Stoneforge Mystic.
if
That's
they
pretty
go
bad.
hard and don't kill us, it's kind of counterproductive.
Yeah. Like, what is the point of casting? The timing on them casting the darts are very awkward. Like, very awkward.
They are helping out on the shadow plan. Mog Marshall is correct.
All right, Liliana, Vindicate, one time.
Okay.
When do we cast this?
So I think I would play Shadow and go to your instep and see if they might try to like lightning bolt the Shadow, and then we can respond with Kaya's Guile.
And then
But
it's
if they don't cast it, uh,
just tough.
yeah, you probably just have to play it on your instep. Uh, I mean the priority thing is
Yeah,
a pain.
yeah.
Maybe it's on their upkeep,
I think
but
it's
then
on
you
their
get them.
upkeep.
The only downside is if they do have a spell pierce, giving them a prowess trigger. All right, upkeep it is. You've convinced me. They've got nothing.
They always have something. They always
No,
have
they
something.
totally don't.
No, they
Or
do.
they're just gonna go for the bolt of shadow here.
So, what do we do? Sack make a 1/1? Or sack exile yard?
Think sack make a 1/1.
I think so too. No spell pierce one time. Okay, so they had it. So we
Yep.
got kind of punished. We're gonna take an extra damage here.
They've had it held up since turn 3,
Yeah.
so I'm not too surprised.
The thing is, like, if they didn't have the Pearson hand Freed Mania, I don't know if I'd be convinced if they'd cycle the Fire Islet. Wow. That's awful. So that one damage is kind of mattering here. Or not. Okay. So a
Well, we're
second
just
Kai's
dead with the
Guile.
dart, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So that one damage actually mattered. Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Opponent, play a fun deck. All these new exciting Magic cards, new modern format, and you're resorting to this. You can do better.
That's like when you play against, like, Greenwood Heliod, you're like, oh, dude, come on, man. It's okay. Shake it off. We got this. We got this.
All right, I told you 4-1. We just got the one out of the way early.
I mean, we mulliganed to 5 both games 2 and 3, you know, so. I think we keep this. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Especially on the play.
Yeah, I think on the draw, I'd consider mulliganing this, but on the play, it's like, okay. Are you okay with this leading on a fetch?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Like, I think that's a pretty good point. Is a lot of times with these shadow variants, like, people are obsessed with the idea of absolutely maximizing damage that you're dealing with yourself early. But you don't always have to do that. You can be patient, especially when you have like a Tarmogoyf hand or a Skirt of the Skyclave's hand or something like that. And just because you have like Peat Land, you can tap it over and over and over again, deal a bunch of damage to yourself, doesn't mean you have to.
So what do we do here? Are we just fetching for Gullish right end of turn tapped? It's Seachrome Coast. So things could be like Spirits, it could be Adnaz. What are the next place Seachrome Coast?
I would expect Spirits, but Spirits without a 1-drop feels weird.
Yeah.
So I think I would just get tap Godless Shrine and untap and figure out what 2-drop we're throwing down.
I would assume I'd want Stoneforge Mystic, right?
I mean, I don't play Stoneforge Mystic, so you're going to have to tell me when we're supposed to cast that card.
I think this is a spot where, like, Cauldron Complete looks really good.
Do it up.
All right, let's try. I also just want to try Cauldron, so this is more for science more than anything. Like, Tarmogoyf is also just a slow clock, too, so it's like...
This entire league is for science.
That's true. Not wrong. Because, like, if it's Adnos, like, Cauldron's, like, really good. If it's Spirits, like, deal with the 5/5. Okay, this
Right.
very much looks like Spirits.
Still weird seeing Spirits without some sort of 1-drop on a 7-card keep.
Yeah, like Vile, Wanderer.
Yeah, just something.
Like in the blind, especially, right? Like maybe if you know we're on like some sort of like BGX deck, sure. Like you don't really want to mulligan, but like in the blind, I feel like you'd have to.
Bench Summer's giving you some hell about Stoneforge Mystics.
Well, you can't apparition on the draw, and you can't apparition the token or the equipment. So ha! Oh no!
Evoke Solitude on the Stoneforge.
Wow.
Deal all day long.
Interesting.
Love to see it.
So do we just... Okay, I was going to say we just slam Lingering Souls, but the Thoughtseize draw makes me want to just slam a Goyf. But lead on the Thoughtseize first, obviously.
I like the Goyf.
Yeah.
I like Goyf a lot.
Let's go Thoughtseize first.
That
So
Goyf clock is getting faster and faster as we speak. Spell Stutter Sprite.
What is happening? What is happening? What is this? We complained about our opponents not playing fun decks, and then we ran into a Solitude Spell Stutter Sprite deck.
This has Aspiring Spike written all over it. We are going to get ephemerated 1000%.
They 100% ephemerated. It's going to be really annoying. Um, now we have options.
Steven says you're up over $1,100 on the donations.
Oh my goodness. This is
That
too
is
much.
killer.
This is awesome. Thank you. Let me, while you think of the line, Steven, you donated again? Oh my god, thank you so much, Steven. You really want those toilet tarmogoyfs. Alright,
All
Mike, what are we
right.
doing here?
So my vote is for Liliana. If it gets countered, we grow the Goyf. If it doesn't get countered, we probably grow the Goyf. If they have another spell stutter, they can't counter it. The downside is like force of negation.
Yeah, I like leading on either 3-drop because if we draw land next turn, we can go Goyf plus the other 3-drop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I kind of like the Liliana too.
I,
So let's just
I
do
think it's
that.
got a little bit more upside to it.
Yeah. Thank you, Steven, for the donation again. Really appreciate it, buddy.
So I
All
think
these
we're like
donations.
100% assuming they have counter spell or some stupid magic card that shouldn't exist, right?
They probably have another spell stutters right in hand, or just like, damn it. Or an ephemerate. And they're just like, damn it.
God. If they have an ephemerate, I'm 1000% convinced it's an Aspiring Spike deck.
Like, an aspiring spike is like ephemerate or like tails
Well,
and oh gosh darn it.
just like a blue-white flash deck or something.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm updating the
Isn't every deck a spike deck now? Yes. Yes,
essentially.
Freed, it is.
Essentially. Um do we attack? I think we do, right?
Oh yeah, we're not blocking.
Yeah.
We're getting in there.
Yeah.
Spellqueller's not a fairy, is it? Gotta
Spellqueller
make
is
sure.
not a fairy. Hmm. Okay.
Are you thinking Lingering Souls?
I think so. I'm just thinking if we attack first. I think we just attack first, right?
I think that's fine.
Yeah, and then just slam a souls. Opponent probably has another Queller. They always have the other Queller. I guess if they had counter spell, this is worse because we could go but I just feel like they're not playing any. Yeah, I feel like they're not playing
Right.
any instant counter spells. I feel like they're all creature based.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like Teferi. Oh, Esper. I was gonna say like Teferi Time Reveler and Ephemerates and stuff like that.
Sky Hussar.
God, the heck is this? So just blue-white flyers.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I gotta look this card up real quick.
Sky
Card, Sky, Star.
Hussar.
4/3 flying ATB, untap all creatures you control. Forecast, tap 2 untapped white and or blue creatures. Draw a card. What a time to be alive.
I'm telling you right now, we went from bitching about our opponent playing a tier 1 deck to this. We cannot complain right now.
We can absolutely complain. It just might fall on deaf ears.
So I think I go Inquisition Tarmogoyf, and if we feel comfortable, we can Shadow for a 1/1. What do you think?
I like it.
How's it going, Chuck? Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Chuck, what is up?
Oh my god. How many spell coolers can our opponent have?
So all I'm seeing now is opponent wanted it more. Like,
So do you just play at our hand then? Attack, play at our hand.
yeah.
So
Like we're
two,
not
four.
dead on the crackback, and I
Yeah,
think we need to put enough pressure on them to maybe not be able to attack with everything.
yeah,
But I guess they can like attack and then Sky Hussar. Doesn't that thing say untap all their guys? Yeah, it does.
yeah. Which is kind of disgusting.
I
So
feel
our
like if we
opponent.
can top deck like a fatal push, we've got a really good chance.
Oh yeah, if we fatal push, we just. Well, I guess the real question is which creature do we push? I would probably think lingering souls, just because we can have bodies on the air.
I agree.
Because like Liliana doesn't. What the hell is
Hold on.
happening? Oh
Void,
my god.
Hard, Void Mage, Prodigy. Um,
MTG
Sack
bot
a
putting
Wizard,
in
none
work
of
here.
spell.
So they only have
I
one
am
wizard.
I'm so terrified.
Yeah. So I guess we lead off just cycling first, right?
Um,
Or do we not cycle? Wait, let me do the math. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Never mind.
is there any way that we can bait them into maybe not blocking everything? Because I'm thinking like if we attack with what we have right now and they don't block, we just cycle tap Pete Land and kill them.
Yeah.
So I think we just like attack first.
I agree. Because we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
Yeah, so we're not
We're
dead
not
on
dead
the
on the
crackback,
crackback.
and they have to block or they die. So.
Yeah. Don't block opponent. Just have 2 Sky Stars or a spell color in hand.
You got nothing, OP. You're not expecting Street Wraith out of this monstrosity of a deck. You're not playing around it.
Okay. Do we just cycle the Three Wraith now? Because like
Yeah,
we can't just tap the Peatland to grow it.
yeah, we definitely cycle the Street Wraith. Maybe we draw into like a removal spell or something and we can grow the Goyf.
Oh my god! Oh no, that's just
May
barely. Damn it!
um let's see. If we fetch or crack the Peatland, fatal push the spell queller with the lingering souls. That adds instant to the yard.
I mean, they do still have Void Mage
That's
Prodigy up too, so anything we cast is gonna get countered. But that's fine, I think.
right. I think it'd still be worth it to get the instant in the yard.
Yeah. So do we just crack now? Just to try to go the
Yeah,
Goyfs?
I think so.
We could also just push this so then they don't have another wizard, and then we could try to resolve a following. So I guess we should just crack first just to see what you draw, because I can see a line where we push the Prodigy too.
We're just gonna. I was gonna say we just draw a second push and
Yeah,
life is good.
fair. Um,
It's like I think we go ahead and cast this push. It's like they sack the Void Mage, but we get instant in the yard and get 2 more damage off these Goyfs.
mhm.
And if we pass or like don't push now, they're still just gonna have Void Mage up. But if
Yeah,
we want to, and I think we target the Spell Queller with the Lingering Souls.
I do
So like
too.
if for whatever reason they don't sack the Prodigy, then we just get Lingering Souls.
Mhm. Because I think Lulan doesn't really do anything on the board.
Right.
And then if they just sack this, then they just don't have a board presence. Okay.
Right, and I think that's kind of the hope here is we just get to deal a bunch of damage. We have 3 lethal attackers every turn.
Yeah. Okay. Them tapping is kind of ambitious.
Well, I'm pretty good with it.
Like, why?
So
This
Ghost
doesn't
Quarter
have...
was one of their draws.
Yeah, so they have Skyasar, Delta, One Unknown. This doesn't have Flash. Oh, they're just gonna untap everything. Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they still have to block 3 things, which means they can't show lethal on the crackback.
Yeah. So... Them attacking was bad, because now they have to block this, right?
Yes.
So we just attack everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll probably... Yeah, this is actually... Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not
That's
expect
perfect.
Oh my god, I did not expect to win that game. Holy moly.
I never had a doubt.
We-
100% knew.
I don't think I've ever won a game where I got triple spell colored.
I mean, how many games have you played with Death Shadows?
Actually, 0, actually.
Exactly.
All
You
right.
win from absurd board positions with Death Shadow.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
All right, how are
man.
you sideboarding here?
Um,
I feel like there's no bad cards in the main. Maybe outside of the Cauldra. Maybe.
I could see an argument for like cut a couple wraiths if you're not blocking and we're not killing them quick enough.
Hmm.
So maybe like a wraith for a batter skull and wraith for like vindicate or a couple wraiths for a couple vindicates.
Do you want
Get a
0
little,
wraiths post board?
like I think having 1 or 2 is fine, but typically in the aggressive creature matchups, like wraith can be a bit of a liability. So you want to be able to get shadows online, but you don't want to flood on wraiths.
So I mean, do we want like Kai's Gal as just like an out as a flyer? Or do we just want to stick with the Vindicate?
I think vindicate because I think they're going too wide for the edict effect to be relevant.
But
But
just
like
the fact
vindicate
that
being able to just
but the
go
fact that
ahead.
it makes a 1/1 though, right? Like I don't want to be too
Sure.
naked in the air. I don't know. If we're gonna cut all the wraiths, I guess we can literally just do this and we're
Yeah.
both satisfied. Right.
Deal.
There you go.
There's a very scientific method behind these decisions. And I know chat doesn't see it at the moment. They don't understand the minute details that go into coming up with these cuts and board ends and
It's all methodical. Slam Keep, Inquisition, Targoyf, Liliana.
absolutely.
Hello. Hello.
Let's see. Have you ever won a game versus Void Mage Prodigy? I've never played a game versus Void Mage Prodigy. So
Smirabito, thank you for the sub, buddy. Oh, Chuck, you gifted the sub. Thanks so much, buddy. Really appreciate it. Overgrown Tomb Inquisition?
let's do it. Like if we
Oh,
get to this Sword of Fire and Ice, that's gonna be pretty hot.
well, that's really annoying. What do we lead on first? Do we lead on Goyf or do we lean on Stoneforge to get spell stuttered? What do we want to get countered? Probably
Uh,
Goyf, right? Because I kind of want to get Stoneforge down. They have nothing, and then we can just get a Batter Skull.
I like it.
Do we just get basic planes? Probably, right?
I think I would go Well, I guess we got the Marsh Flats, so we can get double black without an issue. Or second Marsh Flats. Yeah,
Yeah.
basic plains is fine.
If we didn't draw that Marsh Flats, I would 100% get Gauntlet Shrine, but
Right.
opponents like my jank against their jank. Oh crap! I want to go. Oh, never mind. I messed up.
No, that's fine.
I.
We'll have a bigger Goyf. I hope everybody in TV land out there is watching Kevin intentionally punt away with my deck so that it doesn't get any positive recommendations. We have a decision in mind. It's like, oh no.
This happens when I'm like making sure my OBS isn't freezing, and then I'm like side eyeing one way and going the other. Okay.
I just saw a host from Addictive Behaviors, and I really wonder if it's the same one, but I learned to play at a magic shop called Addictive Behaviors in Oregon.
Addictive Behaviors is a really fun name. Do we just slam a Goy through his counterspell? That's really annoying.
Yeah, probably.
I think we have to.
It's like they're gonna have the they're gonna have the counterspell regardless if we don't slam the Goyf, and
yeah.
I think at this point we're just kind of looking for like any threat that we can strap up with a sword.
Yeah. And the we playing so far didn't matter. It ended up being a 0-sum result. So do we slam a Lily here and try to clear the board, or we just slam a sword and hope to equip it next turn, a creature next turn?
I think I like getting Lily down.
Yeah.
Like, just go ahead and cut the threats in half. Like they'll get to kill the Lily, but
do we fetch Swamp? I think so, right?
yeah.
Hopefully we don't get spell started here. It'd be very bad.
They have third spelled stutter after double counter spell. That would be disgusting.
Or even like Spell Cola would be worst case scenario. Maybe I should have played the Tomb. Because if we draw Fatal Push, we want to keep the Revolt up. So maybe I should have just played the Overgrown Tomb.
Well, I just want to see us rip that sweet, sweet Death Shadow off the top. All I want out of life.
Okay. Okay.
One time deck, I believe.
What is a Sky Hussar? Interesting.
Shadow?
We just Lily again, right?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Yeah. Let me bluff Path to Exile here. Just in case. I mean, another good card here would be Batterskull.
Batterskull would be solid.
Another Liliana, Kai's Guile, Vindicate. Just as a way to deal with the board, I think.
Attack it us.
Bold move. So I think we just play out our hand, right?
Yeah.
The real question is, do we, when do we bobble?
I think we're not going to be able to draw the ball or draw off the bobble and have revolt up.
Yeah.
So I think we just go ahead and bobble now. See what they're drawing into.
Nothing. Aether Vial. Perfect.
All right, so they've got to attack the Liliana.
Yeah.
So that kind of buys us a draw here.
Yeah, so we can draw into Vindicate or
Okay.
Okay. We don't have Path. I verbally said we're holding up bluffing Path, but we don't have Path. Oh, you're saying bluffing it. Got it. Unless we're just bluffing for that purpose. But we're not going to draw it.
It's okay. We got a Death Shadow. We're good. We're good.
Death Shadow heals all wounds. Kaya's Guile. Vindicate. Close. Okay.
So all we need is for sword to draw us into like another bauble.
I mean, if we go to 1, we're short.
1 point short of killing them.
Okay.
So
Damn.
we can prismatic ending our own shadow and then fatal push their guy. So we're not dead.
But we can't push this though.
Oh, that's a 5-drop? God, who
Yeah.
makes these cards?
Who designs these cards?
Game's terrible.
So we have to draw into Lingering Souls and or Kaya's Guile and or Vindicate and hope they don't have anything.
I like our odds.
All right.
We've never missed a draw in our lives.
Oh no. Good game,
We've
opponents. Good game. Oh no! Why did I look? Why did I look?
never look. You
Why did
never
I
look.
Why did I look? Never again.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. Mistakes were made.
We were so happy in our ignorance.
Okay. Do we want to change anything? Do we still like a 2-1 Kaya's Guile Vindicate split on the draw?
We could go up a Kaya's Guile, but at the same time, like, we saw Fairy Seer too, and I'm just afraid they're gonna have like a wide board of little guys, and the edict isn't gonna be too relevant.
Yeah. Oh man, that was deflating. Oh, come on, deck, please. I'm begging you. Okay.
Okay.
Forced? Bottom forced?
Yeah, I like it.
They
this
kept
is
7.
this is like your Magic Online account saying that you're playing Shadows and this is unnatural and you shouldn't be allowed to have good hands and top deck good cards.
Apparently. I guess we just fetch shock, right? Or do you
Yeah,
not like that? I'm
I
assuming
like
just
Fed Shock here because we have the Shadow, so we already know that we need to work towards getting this threat down.
yeah.
Priest of Gix, how's our charity goal going? Last I checked, it was like 1,100 something.
We just broke 1100. I have to update the goal. Someone else donated $21. Awesome. I'll get to that in a second. What do you like taking here?
That's a weird hand. I don't hate just taking like Fairy Seer. Like Aether Vial doesn't feel like it's doing a whole lot here. But if you're just concerned about being like mana efficient on their end, taking or guess Vial does grow Tarmogoyf as well. So maybe that's a good reason to take Vial.
I kind of like taking Stutter because we can't get the Death Shadow. We're gonna play Tarmogoyf, turn 2, right? And then we just have like we can never resolve anything through a Spell Strider.
Sure.
So do you like taking Spell Stutter here?
It's super close.
I mean, we could also just take this.
If we take Aether Vial and get down and turn 2 Goyf, like we're just putting a lot of pressure on them pretty quickly. If we take Spell Stutter, They get the scries off the seer, so they could potentially find more interaction.
So do you like taking Vile or do you like taking a Seer? This is tough.
This is. I'm gonna say Vile. I think Vile's got my vote.
Hey. I'm gonna just go with what you want because if we lose, I can blame you. Fell into my
That
trap.
sounds about right. I'll
Because
accept that one.
I think I would have gone for the spell starter because like I want to resolve either of these two, right? That's how I feel.
Sure.
But I think it's close. So the real question is, do we fetch shock here?
Yes. I would say.
Do we just fetch shock?
I think just get down Tarmogoyf.
Really? You don't want to fetch shock, take the spell starter, and play the Death Shadow?
I like it, but getting this Tarmogoyf down and just getting your opponent or starting to hit your opponent is pretty nice. You could play the Shadow. I'm just thinking about if we don't Tarmogoyf this turn, we might not be able to double spell next turn, and just spending the turn playing the Tarmogoyf could be a little underwhelming.
Got it.
But this is probably one of those times I'd flip a coin because either one's pretty good. So let's see. In my stream fashion, I've got a quarter right here. So, heads, we Tarmogoyf. Tails, we thought Season Shadow. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, if we Tarmogoyf here, next turn they're 100% holding out Spell Stutter, right? So then we have to Thought Seize, they get a Spell Stutter down, counter a Thought Seize, and then we play Shadow. So the net result is they have a Seer and a Sprite, right?
Right. Coin says Thought Season Shadow.
Okay, easy.
So,
Okay. Okay. MZ Blazer, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Fuck, they have the path.
So you could just take the path, play the Shadow, and then if you draw the land, you can Tarmogoyf next turn, Fatal Push one of the guys with the Spell Stutter trigger on the stack.
Mm-hmm.
But we'd have to hit the land.
I think we just do that. I think we just have to take the path, play the Shadow, right?
Just play for the upside.
Yeah. Being tier from by star would be tough if you don't take it now. Exactly. That's how I feel. Seachrome Coast. Brutal.
Just lead with the bauble and see if they do anything about it.
Yeah, they could spell strider this. Yeah. They're countering it.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Love it.
So now we just play a Goyf and just sit pretty. Oh, yeah. This is mistakes are made, opponent. Mistakes are made.
They are digging.
They're digging hard. So, do we attack with the Death Shadow into a Spellcaller? I don't think so, right?
Probably not.
Just attack with the Goyf.
Yeah.
What are they? They're stopping on our beginning of combat. What does that mean? Does that give us any intel here?
Simian Spirit Guide, Cryptic Command, Tap Routine.
Stop it.
It's totally plausible. Um, need a fetch land.
Yeah. What is this? Naked spell queller. Sure. Like them attacking us means. Why did they tap the queller? Interesting.
Okay.
Is there anywhere where we want to push right now?
I don't hate it because if we untap, we might want to just slam Lily.
Yeah.
I'm kind of expecting them to be sitting on like a counter spell or something here.
Yeah.
So I'm completely good with just push the seer.
Yeah.
If they want to use like a spell stutter or something on this, I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, that's
Okay.
decent.
That
So we
means we
just
can
thought
start
these here.
attacking with this. Yeah, we can start attacking with the shadow.
Yeah, just start ending the game. They have 2 Hussars. So I guess we just take the sprite, right? Or do we just take the other Hussar and then... No, I think I like taking the sprite, right?
Yeah, I think take the sprite.
Yeah. So Thoughtseize was like
There,
a... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they're ways off of getting this Hussar down,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're tapping it to draw cards, like we've got a pretty reasonable clock.
Mm-hmm. Like our clock is actually really decent now. Okay. What?
Riptide Laboratory.
Oh, so they can just chump and bounce every turn? Interesting. Getting in there. Let's go. I guess they could like bounce it and then flash it in a block, so that makes sense. If
Oh, they don't
need
have
be.
enough mana to right now.
Oh, they don't.
So they'd
Yeah,
have to
you're
pay
right.
2 and tap the lab.
Yeah. So we know they have 2 Asars. Another Shadow's great. So we just attack. Play the Shadow, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, computer.
So Wooba odd choices from opponent. What, registering Sky Hussar? I agree. It's, it's a bold one.
Oh. Oh, that's fine. I thought they bounced a spell stutter. My heart skipped a beat for a second. And they can like counter the Shadow.
I'll just go on for the extra
I,
scry, it looks like.
let me scroll up what they did. They bonded with both at the first seer trigger. Time is also against us, so I'm gonna just F6. And then if there's any lines you want to take, like before I
Yeah, I
untap.
think we're pretty heavy on just attack like crazy at this point.
Yeah. Because like they're just spending their turn just like bouncing. Ooh, that's...
Reflector Mage.
Oh no.
Calm down, opponent.
Okay.
Just a game.
So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have lethal in the crackback. But we forced the block here, right? So we just attack, play Stoneforge.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we get Cauldra. Do we board out a Cauldra? I don't remember.
I don't think we did.
Wow. Opponent.
They have hit some runners. So now we can't get Cauldra, right? Because we have to block the Reflector Mage.
Mm-hmm. So I think we just get another sword and just F6, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of if they hit a land, they get to attack all out and then play the Sky Hussar and untap everything,
Oh my god.
or
If
they
we
can
get
just
it.
bounce the reflector mage with the laboratory.
Oh, that's so gross. I was gonna say we could like sword equip if we draw land, but we can't do that. Are we just dead now? Would it might have been correct to get the Batter Skull then? No, but then we just die in the air. I think we're just dead, huh?
I think so.
Dang, that Riptide Laboratory was insane.
I was
My
not
goodness.
prepared for the blue-white sky sword. Blue-white wizards with spirits and fairies and sky hussars.
I mean,
Oh man,
do we just concede, or do you want to somehow try to play it out? I don't think we have any way out.
I don't think we do,
Yeah.
and I can't really think of anything that would like force uh our opponent into making a mistake. But we can always just like attack with Tarmogoyf and make them pick up
Yeah.
the this reflector mage or whatever.
That's what I was gonna do. I was just gonna attack and see if they just forget, which they probably they wouldn't.
One thing I've noticed about this deck so far is every game I feel like I've just wanted 3 or 4 more cheap removal spells. Just like place at a path or something.
That was kind of like the balancing act that I had with the Modern Horizons editions. Is like
Hmm.
there's just so much sorcery speed removal with Vindicate and Prismatic ending that like there's no room for like abrupt decay, and I feel like that's kind of a huge flaw where like you just lose instant speed removal, and then we're playing against like is it Prowess or just like something like Hammer too, right? Where like losing those instant speed removal spells is tough. And
Right.
it's like a trade off, right? Where like stuff like Vindicate wins games, and it's like such a versatile removal spell, but it's like a 3 mana sorcery is just so tough to fit in with everything else, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah. And especially a deck like Death Shadow, where like you just want to be so lean, and spending 3 mana to just deal with one thing is just kind of awkward.
Right. I've
So,
also noticed that we've had a lot of hands where we've got 4 Wraith, 4 Bauble, and 20 lands. And we're seeing a bunch of no landers and a bunch of like 2 land turn 7 hands that just like aren't giving us a third land.
mm-hmm.
And that's pretty strange to me. Because usually I'm used to like Grixis where you can play 17 lands with 4 Bauble, 4 Wraith, and like 4 Thought Scour, and you're flooding out like crazy.
Mm-hmm. I just want to shout out to Spirito. Thank you for the. Look at the note that he left. That's awful.
No, Steven there is a mod on my channel, and I refuse to acknowledge that he says anything good at any point. Because if I do say that he makes good points, he won't let me hear the end of it. Uh, but he might be right on the Abzan is garbage comment.
We just 4-1 in the league earlier, okay? So quiet down. All right, so are we just pushing? And if so, are we leaning on Overgrown too? Or do you want to lean on a Discard spell? I feel like we just have to answer the Ragavan here.
Yeah, I think you do have to take care of the Ragavan.
But
So
do
I'd
we
probably
cycle
just go
first?
like, I don't think you have to. I think I would just go like probably silent clearing push. I say silent clearing because you need to do a couple extra points of damage to yourself to get this shadow online.
Mm-hmm.
And so pinging yourself over the first 2 or 3 turns of clearing will add up and give you that extra punch.
Got it. Sir Chips, thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. You horrible. Samir Beto is also kind of a regular on my channel too. But people just love shitting on Abzan, unfortunately.
Well, they can't help it if they recognize it as a terrible combination of magic colors.
How do we sequence this? Do we just start off an Inquisition first?
I think so. That'll kind of help you decide how much damage you need to do to yourself from this point on.
Because like if we
Because if
go
they're just,
street, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if they're sitting there with like a handful of bolts or something, then you don't want to be hyper aggressive with your life total, but
Yeah.
you also want to get to a point where Shadow's going to be like safe from a burn spell. So Inquisition's kind of like the middle ground of, all right, I'm going to deal a point of damage to myself, but I'm not going to go crazy here.
Yeah, because I would just say like we could slam a shadow if we really wanted to. If we went Thoughtseize first, but here, do we just take the counter
There's,
spell?
yeah, I think just take Counterspell and then Murktide.
And then do we fetch shock or do we just shock with Overgrown Tomb? I kind of like leaning just on Overgrown Tomb, right?
So let's see, we're at 18. If we fetch and shock to 15, Thoughtseize to 13, then we can shock to 11 next turn and Street Wraith to 9 to get Shadow out of bolt range.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'd say fetch and shock here and Thoughtseize. For any of the viewers out there who are maybe interested in playing Death Shadow decks in the future, always be thinking about your kind of like key zones for your life total. So against like lightning bolt decks, you want to be somewhere below 10 and above like 6, so like that 7, 8, 9 range, so that Shadow's not dead to a single bolt, you're not dead to double bolt, and you can get down a threat pretty safely.
Mm-hmm. And if you want Death Shadow content, you guys should go to the Control Freaks Twitch. Again, one of my favorite streamers. Just watching these like very like tight ropey lines is just always fun to watch.
I don't know, that guy hadn't streamed in like 12 years. I don't even know if he's still alive.
Subtlety. Oh my.
That is a magic card.
So I kind of like just going Shock Overgrown Tomb, Cast Shadow. What do you think?
I like it. I would shock the tomb and probably just play it off an overgrown tomb. I don't think there's a huge reason to play it off a silent clearing.
Yeah, and then if
You
like
get to
if they
bluff a little bit more.
yeah, and if they like cast this and exile the expressive iteration, I think I'm perfectly fine with that.
Did they put the subtlety in exile?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can only cast it until the end of that
Oh yeah,
turn.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So should we cycle now, just to see if we hit like a Tarmogoyf or a discard spell?
No, because I think we can bait this lightning bolt on the or on the Death Shadow. If you save it to combat trick there.
Oh no, I don't think we're gonna get them. Oh, they have delirium.
Oh, we can't do anything about that part.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunate. So they have Bolt, Iteration, 2 unknown. Okay. So do we just cycle this Wraith now, hope to hit a Fatal Push or something?
Yes. Stragavan's not dashed, right? No, it's just cast.
It's not. Yeah. Oh my.
Like, I would also crack this clearing.
Yeah. Because now we can have access to ending or just a blocker.
Yeah, just anything that we can get on the board here is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. We still need a removal spell for this Ragavan. Like, if we hit, like, push or ending and we, like, take the iteration and, like, kill the Ragavan, we're, like, in a pretty decent spot.
Right.
Or not.
Or...
or that could just happen. So let's just, like,
remember
position, I guess.
Remember that time I was talking trash about our deck, like, not giving us third land on curve? I take that back. I was wrong.
So just take the iteration here, play Temple Guard and tap, pass.
Yeah. The Iteration's best card they have access to.
Yeah. Hopefully this monkey hit isn't great. So they can go Serum Visions. And she's gonna F6. Don't think there's point in bluffing a push. We just pushed it. Exiled Marsh Flats. There we go. So not too much damage off that first Ragavan hit, but we do need to draw something now. They topped. Okay.
All right.
They have the bolt. And
Yeah,
we
but
don't
we
have
can just get a batter skull, put it
into
into
the
play next turn.
sideboard.
Oh yeah, you're right. God, who put this deck together?
I mean, I guess we just get sword, right?
Probably. We're just getting so close to like dying to double bolt to the face.
Yeah. Yeah. But they're gonna bolt the Stoneforge. Just clear with the monkey. They have one card in hand, now two after the draw step. Oh no.
Easy shadow off the top.
Yeah.
Not for them. No.
Why did you say that?
You know, for us. For us.
We got a mole in the chat here. We got a mole in the stream.
That's gotta count for something, like calling shots just for the wrong player.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Like the Vindicate off the top from the sword trigger, and then the Death Shadow that got exiled by Ragavan is just hilarious.
You drew for the Vindicate. I'm not taking blame for that one.
Ooh, that's a big Murktide. Alright, deck. Yeah. These endings are just so awkward against these blue-red decks where it just doesn't line up nice against the Regents or like the Storming entities.
Right. The endings to me have not looked good.
Yeah.
Like, it's a card that I really wanted to be good in this kind of deck, but we've seen 3 games of game 1 or match 1 Stormwing entity, match 2 the Sky Hussar, match 3 Murktide Regent, where Prismatic ending was just completely dead.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it were Path to Exile, we would have been in much better position.
Yeah, I think in specifically a Death Shadow list, maybe Path is just better.
Yeah.
So how do we want sideboard? I assume we want the Battle Skull. Do we just again board out Wraiths? And then bring in a combination of these 2 cards?
So I would say probably want Dothy here.
Really?
Yeah, with Murktide Regents being able to knock their yard out of play seems pretty good. Let's see, Giles, good.
Do we just board out Cauldron and Wraiths?
Cauldron, definitely. A couple Wraiths. And I'd probably board out like a couple Prismatic endings.
I mean, we want an answer to Monkey, right? Or are we not caring about that?
I mean, we do, but we've got like the 3 Prismatic endings and 3 pushes, and none of those killing Murktide or anything like that I think is going to be relevant.
That's fair.
Was Jesus coming in behind me?
We got another guest on the stream.
But last 3 spots, I would say. God, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Kind of
maybe just the last. Gonna say all the Wraiths.
Yeah, I'm gonna say all the Wraiths and then maybe one ending.
I like that.
Someone asked if you stream anymore, Mike.
Do what? Oh, do I stream anymore? I do. Just been busy with work, so I haven't had a chance to recently.
So I assume we just keep this hand. It just lands and spells, but like, do you aggressively fetch shock with this fetch land, knowing that we have Death Shadow?
Depends on what opponent does here. Uh, which is always like a terrible approach with a deck that you just never have like a concrete plan most turns. It's almost always depends what opponent does. Like whether I'm fetching shocking, what threat I'm playing out. Like I think for decks like Abzan, you have a lot of times where it's all right, I've got Stoneforge in hand.
Yeah.
Stoneforge on turn two is like best thing I can do. But with Shadow, there's so many little details like, all right, well, Shadow on turn two with nothing else is better in these situations, and
Mm-hmm.
Goyf is better here, and holding up removal is better here because you're more likely to die to whatever. And
Yep. So do we
but
just fetch Gauntlet Shrine in this spot then? Speaking on that note, or do we just
I
untap?
I'd say yeah, I'd fetch Shock Goblet Shrine.
Oh, but if we're gonna fetch out Gauntlet Shrine, wouldn't we just untap just to see, or are you just doing that just aggressively?
We've already got 3 lands. We really don't want to draw into more. So
That's
I would
fair.
just go ahead and take the thinning route and get the land out of the deck.
I will say though, we have not drawn Mistress Ball that often this game, like in this league so far, and getting
We
those
have
like
not.
valuable scry tricks are just kind of, from what I experienced with Abzan, very very nice to have, right? And
Agreed.
we're kind of not being able to like filter anything is kind of a big deterrent too.
Like I think one of the biggest advantages to a deck like Shadow is being able to kind of have streamlined draws of like disruption into threat into interaction. And we haven't really seen a whole lot of good turn one interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Our threats have been like a little bit clunky. Uh, and then we haven't been seeing the removal afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So just like none of the 3 steps of the game have lined up as well as I think we want it to. But that just means we might have to adjust our plan of attack.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we another Ragman. All right.
Which is fine. I mean, do you think? Oh, so A, question A: do we tap this P land to take a damage for this Death Shadow, and then B, I kind of like Liliana depending on what we draw. But what do you think?
I don't think we have to take a point of damage here, but I do like Liliana.
Do we fetch here? I kind of don't want to, in case we do draw a Mishra's Bubble.
That's
What do you
fine.
think? Well,
Ragavan
maybe
doesn't trigger like if he hits Planeswalker, does he? Doesn't make
no.
a treasure.
It has to be damage to a player.
Shows how many games I've gotten with the new cards.
You need to play more modern, man.
I mean, I want to play more. I also want to like have a stable career.
Alrighty, what are we doing here? Do we just slam Lingering Souls? 1, 2, 3. They have 3 instants in the graveyard and sorceries. For
I'm gonna
Murktide.
say yeah. I'm
Just
gonna
slam
say
Lingering
slam
Souls.
souls.
Yeah.
Counter spell.
That's
Sure.
perfectly fine. Like, we'll take that exchange all day. So now, what do you do? Is this a time where we want to aggressively fetch shock to get a shadow down, or are we just flashing back souls?
See, I think we're waiting and seeing if our opponent does anything else by the end of the turn, which doesn't look like they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably just go to our turn and not do anything because I don't know if I want to fetch and shock yet.
Yeah. I kind of want to just flash like Lingering Souls and then see what they do. They're hard representing counterspell, I think.
I like it.
But I think that exchange is fine. We just 2-for-1 them. Cool. Now we just passed, right? I kind of don't want to aggressively play the shadow anymore.
Mm-hmm. All for it.
Their hand is kind of awkward. Like, what is in their hand? They didn't counter anything. They didn't. Their only threat was the Ragavan.
Sir Chibs asked if does anyone think Bauble is going to get axed for Modern Horizons 2 sins? And I'm going to say I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think Bauble's like a cool value piece, and there's some decks like Magmatic Channeler decks that can take advantage of it. Unholy Heat decks now. I would say Luris is more likely to get an axe before Bauble is.
And I'd rather ban Companion as a mechanic before they just ban Luris, though. You know, like I feel like what makes it say like Yorion or like, you know, just these other companions. Like what makes like I'd rather just ban that whole mechanic outright. Right. So I'm just gonna bleed on this Stoneforge Mystic here. Like I just think we're just gonna play it out. Oh, I did not expect it to resolve.
What is opponent sitting on?
I don't know. Is it just a bunch? Is it just a playset of Murktide Regents or something? In which case, do we just get Sword of Fire and Ice, and then just fight through all the removal, and eventually this will hit?
I like getting Fire and Ice here because if you're able to just strap up like a token or something, then you're like invincible.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe their hand is just like Mono Bolts and Unholy Heats.
See, Martinez, at some point they'll understand that cards that are completely free with only upsides are bad for the formats. Are you talking about like Fisher's Bauble being bad for the format? Because I don't think it's bad. It enables things like Delirium to actually be playable. Not necessarily good, but at least you can make them sort of work sometimes.
And also, like, Bauble was printed like 15 years ago, so it wasn't really like a mistake they made recently either.
Right.
Do we fetch Shockland tapped here, just so in case we draw an untapped land, we can equip a sword and take less damage?
Yeah, that's fine. We've got extra black sources. We can always crack beat land if we need to turn on Revolt.
Okay. Do you like leading on attacking, or do you like leading on Thoughtseize first? I kind of like leading on attacking first.
I do as well. If they kill off a spirit token, it's one less thing we have to worry about.
So let's Thoughtseize here.
And if we happen to get to like land this sword here, that could be pretty nice.
And I just like landing it here under counter magic.
Unless they have another spell pierce.
Oh, another spell pierce would be brutal. But then again, then we just leaves like our Kaya's Guile open, which is going to be pretty clutch if they do slam a Regent or something. Oh no. Oh no. Do we just lead on attack again?
Yeah. Because, I mean, we're looking at, like, Inquisition, land a shadow, strap up a shadow.
Yeah.
And that's pretty solid.
Pretty good, yeah. Yeah. Do you go for Shadow Equip here?
I do.
I kind of like it, just because it forces them to have it, and if they have nothing else, then we have a Kaya's Guile. Like, just make them have it.
No,
Oh, crap! Oh, crow! No! Oh no.
I tried to catch it.
I know, I clicked the wrong land. Oh no. Okay, that one's on me.
In chat, that's why you don't get extremely intoxicated before your Abzan Shadow leave.
This is towards the end where I start needing food. I start getting a little fatigued. Unfortunate. Ooh, Dragon Race Chandler. Interesting. I also wanted to and push this end step. Okay, so what do we do here? Do we just push and
I'm
play
gonna
Goyf?
say, yeah. Well, do we want to push or do we want a prismatic ending?
Prismatic ending is
I kind
probably
of,
better. Yeah,
yeah, I kind of like just using the sorcery speed removal here and
I
save this
agree.
push for like a monkey.
Yeah, especially if they like dash it. Okay.
That Goyf is looking a little thick right here. So.
Yeah. Holding a push is nice. Okay. They're dashing.
Speaking of dashed Ragavans,
Do we block? I think so, right?
I mean, I'd absolutely block. I'm just wondering what their plan here is. Do they just have like double lightning bolt or something?
It might be just
They're just trying to
unholy
trade.
heat. It might be unholy heat. And then they just trade the Ragavan and whole heat the Tarmogoyf. I kind of like just
So
pushing this.
if that's the case, I would declare a block and then push before damage, just in case it's something else. Like you have the block covered, so they're not triggering whatever.
I think I like pushing this just to play around unholy
Yeah,
heat.
I like it. Slayerfall, thick Goyf is best Goyf. Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. We just need more bitter blossoms in here so we can get
Oh
that
god.
illustrious 8-9 Goyf.
People just love Bitter Blossom. And I just don't get it.
It's bitter blossom. What's not to love about it?
I don't know. I
It's
just
double unholy heat.
uh yeah. Perfect. Perfect.
Love to see it.
I would say we're in a pretty good spot. Is this a Murktide Regent?
Please. I need this opponent. This has got to be a Murktide.
Yeah.
I love
Which
how
is
they're like
fine.
incentivized to exile spells to make Murktide big, but not like engineered explosives and stuff to shrink Tarmogoyf. We get to just do it all.
So do we like sack, make a 1/1 or sack exile the graveyard? We can
I
also
think
just
sack nuclear yard.
I could also just equip and attack and then see what we get too.
Sure.
Yeah. But I agree. It's probably like sack exile graveyard. Moto's kind of lagging here.
Do you think you need to restart it after this match?
Maybe. Couldn't handle all the spice. Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We definitely need to restart Moto here. Run it back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You saw how bad we just destroyed that fool that game? Like, deck's perfect.
We are getting some awkward hands. Like this is an. I think this is an easy mulligan. The Battle Skull's a free mulligan, if anything. Oh my goodness. Give me a second. Do you want to keep the stand mic, or did Mike freeze? Oh, sorry.
Here.
Yeah. I think we just bought him Battle Skull. This is a mulligan to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree. No Ragavan, no Ragavan, no Ragavan.
Oh my god. Prismatic ending. We also have the bauble trick too. So we got like we just bauble trick ourselves. Yeah.
It's gonna feel really bad if we see a prismatic ending on top.
I was just thinking the same thing. We have Tarmogoyf. Do we have to fetch shock that away? Just hope to hit a fatal push? Yeah.
And getting rid of the Ragavan's too important.
Do we get swamp here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that monkey's so good.
Monkey's like so good on the play if your opponent has a sketchy hand, but
Yeah.
I've seen him a lot of times, especially when I play him, where he's just looked absolutely terrible because your opponent plays like an arboreal grazer or something.
I know. Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, this card's great.
They exile Verdant Catacombs. So now that we have the Death Shadow in, do we fetch shock for the Tarmogoyf, or do we just play Shadow? Or sorry, do we just
go Peatland Goyf. So like you lose a little bit of life to get Goyf down, but you're not going crazy on your life total and just like dying to EOT double thought scour untap Murktide or something.
I mean, we do have the Lingering Souls if they end up doing that, which is fine. Oh, they just have the counter spell, which is fine. We do still need an answer to those. I guess we could slam Lingering Souls next turn. Oh, that Stoneforge Mystic. That's so funny.
Casted opponent. Go get your equipment.
I know. Ooh. This is tough. I kind of like Lingering Souls. But what do you think?
I'd say Souls as well. Like, I think that opponent, they could just have a counter spell and it doesn't matter. But I think I'd rather them have or counter the first half of a Souls than Liliana here. Because we can always go like Souls this turn and then Liliana plus Shadow next turn.
Mm-hmm. Do we just play Plains? I think so. Right? Yeah. And then we can get in, if we really want to, we get Shadow on 4. So.
Looks like chat's really excited about the monkey as well. I guess my issue with the monkey, if we're talking about it from like a potential ban perspective or something like that, is it's been slotting in as a 4 of in aggro decks, mid-range decks, control decks.
Mm-hmm.
You've got people that are playing like decks splashing for the monkey now. And that's kind of getting towards the point where people should be considering that it could get banned. Not that I think it will, but just it's a possibility.
So what line do you think you like take here?
So I would start with Flashback Souls.
I agree.
Because I think you want to try to bait a counter spell as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're probably going like, yeah.
And I'd probably push this main phase, I think.
Yeah, I think this is push and play a Shadow.
And do we fetch shock or just... Oh, we have to fetch shock, huh?
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
fetch Shock Overgrown Tomb, and you're not dead to double bolt here, so you're kind of okay with it. And you can get down Liliana next turn without needing double bolt.
3-turn clock. Oh. We did not play around Unholy Heat.
That's fine. Murktide into his Liliana.
Yeah, it seems fine. Yeah, that's pretty good for us. Just having the board clear with this Liliana is just can actually do something. Ooh, and then a Batter Skull next turn.
Ooh. Is this what it feels like to do degenerate Stoneforge things?
Or you just hard cast your crappy equipment? Sure.
I wasn't gonna say it like that, but yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out if we want to fetch at the end of the turn. Probably, right?
We've got basic forest, so we don't have to.
Okay. So should we just untap then?
I think I would fetch up a tapped shock land.
Probably like Temple Garden, or over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're giving them like one draw step to find a way to deal with Batter Skull, or we just like probably win.
Yeah. They have creature. So we just need them to draw a land, and we're in good shape. Not that
Like
one.
that.
Now it has Delirium.
It's still a land. Like
Yeah.
we're winning the race.
Yeah. So we go up to 6. Ooh.
We're really winning the race.
Do we crack this peatland first?
Yeah, I think we cracked the peatland off the plains, because if we
Yeah.
find like a Liliana or something, we'd rather just do that.
Nope. Not so lucky. So no bolt one time.
And it is awkward for them because they have to attack.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, deck's perfect.
Okay.
Nobody can tell me
Okay.
otherwise.
So I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, Mike. Do you want to take a quick break real quick?
Sure.
All right, I'll be right back. And my girlfriend also has to, sorry, my fiance has to blow dry her hair too. So I have to mute myself anyway for like a minute. So I'll be right back if you're okay with that.
All good.
All right, I'll be right back.
I don't know. Is audio coming through? Yes, it is. Well, I'm shocked that the deck won. We're not gonna tell Kevin that any of the equipment was okay or that Batterskull won us a game. I refuse to go down that route. But it does seem to me like so far the deck has wanted Luris. So like Street Wraith, Sword, Liliana's Cauldra, Stoneforge, just kind of dump that part. Prismatic Ending's been very underwhelming. Like the sorcery speed aspect of Ending and Vindicate, little dicey. Abzan will always be seen as junk. I would agree with that. Or like the 3-color um what the 3-color Wallet Slayer deck. Back when it was like Lotus Cobras and Baneslayer Angels and um what else was in those terrible decks?
But Baneslayer Angel is not a terrible match card. I my
Agree
my
to
nos-
disagree.
my nostalgia refuses.
There's like a period where right after Baneslayer Angel came out, I had this streak of going to my LGS and just like I'd buy 3 or 4 packs and crack the Baneslayer every time when they were like 50 something bucks a piece. And I just like kept free rolling these pack openings by hitting Baneslayer Angels like M11 or whatever it was.
It's crazy how like I feel like Baneslayer Angel was the beginning of power creep. Would you like do you agree with that? Like after that, it
I
was
mean,
like
it was. It
Thraktos.
was like it was the start of cards that just kind of said, "All right, if you don't deal with this right now, you lose the game." Period. Like Jace the Mind Sculptor coming out right before it was pretty big power creep,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. Jace never felt like something that you couldn't beat just because there were so many creatures in the format attacking and stuff like that. But Baneslayer was absolutely the start of like, you've got to answer this. And then the next core set, they started introducing like Primeval Titan and Frost Titan, Inferno
Yeah.
Titan. It's like, okay, now things are getting insane.
That's when they're like, oh yeah, like mythic rares. It's okay. It's not gonna be tournament staples, right? And it's like, never mind. That like, that promise went
it's
away real quick.
it's so funny but true with the idea of like, oh yeah, mythics you see every now and then, but not everybody's going to have access to them because you get like one every 12 packs. And then Magic just started booming and it's like, oh yeah, I can get play sets of the mythic rares pretty easily if I've got the money.
If you got the money, and then we look at Ragavan, which is like insane. Like how
God,
I'm gonna take a second. Oh, let me restart Moto. Like I'm gonna take a quick second look at how much Ragavans cost right now, because that must be absurd, right?
I'm absolutely okay with ranting over Ragavan. Slayerfall money solves all problems, so does
Money does all.
Monkey.
I mean, jeez, it's that's kind of crazy.
$73.
Yeah, they're pushing the envelope for sure for these one drops. And the problem is like you can't really say it's like overpowered because it's like the limit on a one drop. There is a limit on how powerful a one drop could be, but the problem is like you're just pushing the envelope on how much text can go on a one mana spell, you know?
Right. I
So
mean, I don't know when people in the chat got into Magic, but it used to be a very streamlined design for making Magic cards. Like if you've got 3 mana, you've got a vanilla 3/3. And then if you tack on an ability like you give it flying, you reduce the power, reduce the toughness. And now it's a 3 mana 2/2 flyer. If you make it a 3 mana 3/3 flyer, you got to bump it up in rarity to like an uncommon. So it was like a really straightforward, just like 1-to-1 mapping of power and toughness versus abilities versus rarity. And since then, it's gotten so far away from that.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can have things like Ragavan that's 1 power or 1 mana, 2 power, has the dash ability, makes treasure, lets you cast your opponent's top card, and it's just like too many individual things for one card at any rarity.
It's like you look how far was not Jockle Pops. Is it Jockle Pop? Like, what's that 1 mana 2/1 like where it deals damage at like? Yet you also take damage. Like we come a long way from that card.
Oh yeah,
So it's like, what is happening?
it's insane. And like I think
Jackal Pop, yes. Thank you, Steven.
cards like Oko really took it to the next level of power creep, where it's just like we don't know what we're actually printing on cards anymore. We're just going 20 steps ahead of wherever we were at last year.
We're just gonna vomit like 30 paragraphs of text onto these cards and then just see what happens if it's like, what is happening?
Like, what's the worst that could happen if you have a 4 mana 6/6 that draws a card and gains 3 life and puts an extra land into play, and you can just keep getting it back over and over again?
Yep.
It's like it's already 2 power above where it should be at 4 mana.
Yeah.
So that makes it a rare right off the bat. Draws a card, that's a mythic. Get an explore effect, well, that's beyond mythic. You get the gain 3 life, well, that's beyond mythic. And you're getting into rarities that have never existed in Magic before.
But Mike, you have to have the card in the graveyard, and you have to connect with Ragavan. But it just doesn't. The scale doesn't like the scale that we're on is just like completely broken now. I think that's just a summary of it, you know.
Then you come back with the other side of that argument, like, okay, so Ragavan followed up by any piece of interaction whatsoever, because Ragavan says hit you, draw a card.
Yeah.
And hit you, ramp myself.
Well, it's hit you, draw a card, and ramp. It's like
it's mini Euro.
It is mini Euro. It doesn't gain life, but like, my God.
Doesn't gain life, but it's 3 less mana.
It's one of those things where like, remember when creatures were really awful if they were a 1-drop? Like the best 1-drop was like Llanowar Elves and like,
Are you
Birds
trying
of
to tell me
Paradise.
that Zergo Helm Smasher was a bad card?
Oh my God, totally forgot about Zergo Helm Smasher.
We're gonna fight over that one.
Why is Deathrite Shaman Band of Ragon Eagle? I don't know. That's a very good question. How's it going, Statistics H? Hope you're doing well. Do we keep this hand?
I'm gonna say yes.
I think so too. We have interaction early on. And the question is, do we cycle right away?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Just
give
in
it a
case we hit
cycle,
discard
see
spell?
if maybe right.
Yeah.
Discard spell, bobble.
Yeah.
Because like I think we're for sure cycling on turn 2. Just 100%, because we've got Tarmogoyf. Oh my, the hell.
What is happening?
We're still...
What? We're still cycling, I'm assuming, right? That doesn't change anything.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh no.
I'm scared and confused.
Oh no. I guess overgrown tomb tapped?
Overgrown tomb go.
Yeah. Oh no. What is what is this? I mean, we are in the 1-2 bracket, so don't be too surprised. Tarmogoyf.
Like, I get the 1-2 bracket argument, but I also get the what the hell argument. Leyline of the Void, Wooded Foothills.
I mean,
is this like somebody that's main decking against food, or Is this like a really weird Enchantress deck? Like,
Do we just bubble? I don't know if I even want to target them, but I kind of want Liliana too, right?
I'm all for Liliana. Just take out and pitch like Forest or something.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid he's gonna fetch up like Steam Vents, some other blue source, and counter spell off this.
I like double foothills leyline. What is happening?
Ah,
Okay.
yes, of course. Omniscience.
Is this like um the
We're
Temur
getting
Cascade
trolled by
deck?
someone. I don't know who's trolling us, but we're getting trolled.
This is the Temur Cascade deck. It has to be.
How do they?
Yeah, they have Emmercool.
I need a drink. I need a drink.
Thoughtseize? Oh. Okay, that was really a good draw then, because we have to take Chartless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, their hand's bad.
Yeah, their hand is pretty bad. But we don't have a clock, which is awful.
Um,
Do you not want to discard planes?
I think planes is fine. I was just thinking about what all options we had.
I guess there's an argument for like Lily first and then Thoughtseizing if we knew we were gonna hit a Charlotte's agent, but
So they've got to draw land and Cascade spell.
yeah. We need to draw Tarmogoyf. We can't even draw Death Shadow.
Stoneforge.
Stoneforge.
We can bobble trick ourselves at least.
Yeah. Inquisition.
I don't think we want that.
Do we plus Liliana, discard Fatal Push? Or discard the ending? Probably the ending, right?
Yeah, I think the ending. We're not ending anything in this matchup.
Yeah. And are we just fetch shocking here?
Probably. So we do need to get to play Death Shadow range at some point.
Yeah. This is... We do have Void Mirrors on the side, right? Yeah, and Dipping Sphere.
Yeah. We are prepared post board for this.
I wonder if there's a role where they
Except-
want to suspend this. But I don't think so.
I mean, I guess it's pretty bad in the face of like a Liliana ultimate,
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true.
but at the same time, like if they're just not doing anything, maybe it is worth it.
Main deck Leyline of the Void in this deck. Like, wow.
Like, well, it could be just to get extra free permanents into play for the glimpse.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'd buy that.
Yeah.
Just slam a bunch of Leyline of the Voids and Leyline of Sanctities and call it a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad. Threat. Tarmogoyf. Okay.
Yes. We're doing
Thoughtseize
it.
first?
Uh,
Or do you want Liliana first?
I think any of the above is fine. It's like we're discarding the push regardless if we take a Liliana.
Wow.
So,
Alright, so we're just taking the Violent Outburst.
I like it.
Yeah.
Now our 1-2 clock. Oh, 2-3. Got the outburst.
Well, it's about to become a 3-4.
Opponent might as well not even try now.
The line here, though, is do we Lily ult this turn? I'm just curious. Like, I feel like if they draw a land, I feel like I'm inclined to Lily ult, right?
What are we? If
Just to,
they
just to Stone Rain them.
are we Lily ulting if they don't draw land? Just make it so they have to draw 2 lands. Where
Yeah.
if they draw the 3rd land and play it, we Lily ult it. They get to keep 2 lands regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Wow.
yes.
So these cards seem fantastic. What are our bad cards here? Like
We like
pushes and
push. I think is
ending.
bad. Prismatic ending's bad. Like Dothy just is a 3/2 on 2
Yeah.
seems pretty all right.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, do we just cut all the removal spells like I just did, or I think that's
yeah,
fine, right?
I like the cutting removal spells. Like we're not killing anything they're playing out with those anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make an argument for like Vindicate.
Like
Um,
just one, because like there's literally nothing else.
Pretty much. But
I mean, yeah,
it's like either Vindicate or bring in Dothies just as the threats.
yeah.
I don't hate the Dothy idea.
Maybe we cut the souls, right? Because the Voidwalker's just a quicker clock.
I like it.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah,
better than having
let's
a
do it.
Vindicate. Yeah, that's. Side out the streamer.
Which one?
Which one? Side out the multiple sclerosis? Hell yeah. That's a good call.
Now we're talking.
That's a good call. That's something we can all agree on. Looking back, I don't want to be that guy, but this doesn't look like Karth content. I was thinking about streaming the Karth deck as the first league, but I wanted to play Abzan a little bit, surprise, surprise, with like out the Stoneforge Mystic package just to try it out. But I definitely want to bring the Karth deck back.
I
Probably will
was
be soon.
oh, I like this hand.
I really like this hand.
Oh yeah. I was
Yeah.
talking about it a little bit while you were off camera about like what I think this deck needs is to just drop like prismatic endings, the Stoneforge package, the wraiths, add Luris to the board, and just like go crazy on just like the fetches or the Thoughtseize Inquisition into some good 2-drop, maybe add the Hex Drinkers back in, something like that.
Yeah, I honestly think when you're trying to play fair, you really want to play a companion, right? There's a Mistress Bauble on top. Oh, there's a Thoughtseize on top. Sorry, I kind of want the Thoughtseize, right?
I don't hate the Thoughtseize because like if we draw that, if we find a second fetch land, then we can Thoughtseize plus Shadow next turn.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Well, I think we have to play Void Mirror next turn, so like we kind of need to hit a second land, if anything.
Yeah, you can Bobble Trick again looking for a land.
Yeah. So do we want to get greedy and draw the Thoughtseize, and then
Oh,
hope to just
do you think Void Mirror is good enough to win by itself?
maybe because their hand is already double Leyline.
It's like I think if the argument that is or if the argument is that Void Mirror wins the game by itself, then you shuffle away the Thoughtseize and just like maximize draws for the second land.
Yeah.
But if you think that Void Mirror by itself isn't doing it, then I think you keep the Thoughtseize and play the greed route.
No, actually, now that I think about it, if we shuffle the Thoughtseize away, right? then we
Hmm.
get another draw off bauble. The same amount of draws is the same to try to hit another land. So if anything, because like it's not like we don't get an extra shuffle effect for the second bauble. So I
Well,
kind of like just
it
drawing this Thoughtseize.
it's the same amount of draws, but you guarantee that one of the three draws isn't a land.
Yeah,
Where
but I
if you
think
wait, then you've got three draws that are all completely random at a
yeah,
land.
but I think I think I like keeping the Thoughtseize.
All right,
So let's just do
let's keep
that,
the Thoughtseize.
and we'll
And
just
we
bubble
can
trick
draw
ourselves.
it, and then yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's do the same song and dance.
Opponent's over here wondering like what the hell's taking them so long. Opponent, this is a very nuanced decision. Hush your mouth.
Oh, we got the Heath. Perfect.
Game's easy.
Game is easy. So we just fetch shock, I'm assuming? Gallop's trying to
Yeah.
overrun to him.
It's official. You suck.
Wooba, nice redemption. I don't think you hear the audio, huh, Mike? I think it's you have to be like tuned.
I don't. Hold on. Can I catch in time? It's too late.
Yeah.
I've got like the stream pulled up over here so I can check out chat and everything.
Yeah.
Y'all got to give me like a heads up before you redeem a you suck. Actually, now that I think about it.
Oh no. You can't redeem it. How do I ban you before this?
It's official. You suck.
We've gotten that part of the stream. Oh my god.
Love it.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
It's official.
Oh
You
no, now
suck.
people are just gonna start
I
shading
started
this.
a stream.
Oh no.
It's official.
Oh no.
You suck.
I love it. I love it so much.
Stop it. Have mercy.
If you've got 3,000 points in chat, redeem
You
you sucks now.
Oh no.
It's official.
Oh my
You
god.
suck.
The Wooba, what have you done? This is
You've done the
awful.
Lord's work. That's what you've done.
It's official.
Oh
You
my
suck.
god. This is too funny.
I love this so much.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Slam a hate piece. Okay, call it a day.
Wait, are we playing for the Cash League?
Yeah,
Oh,
look at
man.
that. Look at that. We went
Oh,
from like
man.
down in the dumps. We're all just defeated to like getting that
Jack has
classic
potential.
3-2. All
I
those
believe that's
you
the Chun 5-0.
yeah. You know, all those you suck redemption channeled that positive energy here. Oh
I mean, if
man.
you want to call that positive energy, you're welcome to, but I don't know if that's what they were going for.
That's fair. Oh my. That
Do
was
you have any
good.
other good? Let's see.
No,
What
don't
other
don't
point
don't
redemptions you
look
got
up
down
any.
here?
Stop it. Stop it.
Let's see.
Oh my god.
What is this one?
I don't even remember. I set those up so long ago. And usually people would just do the you suck one. Don't touch the others.
I'll redeem this one.
Oh no. Oh. No, now we're gonna play against Tron. This is gonna be the Tron matchup right here. Way to go. Oh my god, this hand's awful. We mulligan this,
Yeah.
right?
I'd ship this 100%.
We're against Luris too. This sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Thoughtseize in the Stoneforge, lean on basic swamp, bomb the
Do
sword.
you just like? I was gonna ask if you bought him the sword since you got the double stone forge.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah. That's the
See,
thing
I don't
about
know
like
these Stoneforge Mystic lines. It's a strange and foreign card to me.
it's pretty simple. Every time you mulligan, you see equipment. It's just an easy bottom, like easy.
Must be nice to have easy mulligan decisions.
That's like the only thing that's easy about it. Though. If anything, you don't even want it in your opener. If anything, like they're just bad cards if you want to draw it. Oh,
Burn.
I see.
Just taking
Um,
like Boros Charm for maximum damage, or
I think so. Yeah, check the charm. I think I'm done with checking the charm. Yeah.
yeah, sure is a lot of charms. Damn,
Mm. Yeah,
it's a few.
it's a little bit.
So they've
I mean,
currently got 8, 11 points of burn, 2
l-
charms, yeah, and a spike.
luckily none of these are creature based damage. So we don't have Batter Skull. Oh, we
I
don't
mean,
have.
I don't know who made that deck building decision.
Oh.
I
I
did
mean,
not have Batter Skull.
we just gotta get Cauldron right.
I guess. I don't know what I'm doing here. I
And
don't
I
play
don't.
these cards.
This is out of your realm of comfort. So we're not in your comfort zone.
I told you, you deal with the Stoneforge decisions. I'll deal with the Bauble, Street Wraith, Shadow Math decisions.
But I mean, do you cycle Street Wraith? I feel like Street Wraith is
It's
just a dead
official.
card.
You suck.
At the moment, yeah. Like, I wouldn't cycle Street Wraith unless you had a Death Shadow and you were killing your opponent this turn with it.
Yeah.
Anything else, I don't think's worth it.
Oh, they had the Helix. That's fine, I think.
Yeah, that's like a burn spell. It's not at our face, right?
Yeah. So I guess we just bobble them. Or should we bobble? I don't think we ever cycle the Street Wraith, I think. Right?
You could bobble yourself, and if you saw exactly Death Shadow, maybe there's an argument for cycling it, but I'd probably just play it safe and play the Stoneforge and like
I mean,
bobble them at some
do we
point.
bobble them? Okay. Because I like bobbling on our turn just in case we draw like Fatal Push, and then if they top deck like a dude. No, they just top deck Sacred Foundry, which is great for us.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Possibly.
All right, Cauldron complete. I'll need you to do one good thing this league. Just make me feel like I made an okay decision putting you in the deck.
I'm telling you right now, Cauldra is not great.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
What is this? A Brower's Charm. Okay. Oh, they had this skewer. Jesus Christ.
Well, that's 6 points of burn. They pointed at guys instead of our face.
Yeah. So they have Sacred Foundry. No, they played their second round. We don't know any of their cards, right? Yeah. They played the Foundry here, and they cast the charm. So I don't think we know any of their cards. They played all the cards that we knew about.
They have one more Boros Charm, don't they? Didn't they have
No,
three in
they-
hand?
Oh, they did. They still have the charm in hand. You're right. So we're at a virtual
That-
5.
So I think they've played like everything that we've or that they've drawn. Yes, yes.
That's really good. Do we go Death Shadow plus Sword and just fetch a basic?
You'd have to take 2 to do that. Go to
Are we not?
7.
Seven.
I wouldn't do that and go to 7 because you already know about Charm putting you to 3, and I don't think you want to go to 3.
Okay.
So I think I would just like play Shadow, play Heath, pass, and plan on like cracking the Peat land.
Mm. This is so nerve wracking. Dash Shadow gets burned. I don't know how you do this.
It's a whole lot better when you've got like one game plan, and that's get down a big dude and not worry with like Stoneforge, hoping it survives, or like Grixis being able to play Stubborn Denial.
Yeah. So do we just untap? Do we fetch? Do we
Uh,
crack Beatland?
I'd crack Peatland. I think you need more stuff. You're kind of like past the point of caring about um, residual pinging on yourself.
Hmm.
You just want like spells that do things.
Not that.
Not quite spells that do things. All right. So here I would think about damage and life total. We know
Yeah.
he's got a Boros charm. So we're dead to double charm if we go to 8, but I don't think we're beating double charm anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd probably fetch and play out sword.
And just get like a basic forest.
Yeah.
Or actually, I should no. I could just get basic forest. Doesn't matter
We're
which
looking
land.
at go to 5. Go to 5, hit them down to 16. We can't kill them next turn,
Yeah.
but get to
Yeah.
draw a couple cards maybe.
Yeah. All right, I'm down for that. Let's. I guess we could just attack and then we just fetch inside of combat. I don't know if they have any sort of interaction.
Can't imagine that they would, but
I don't know if they'd be in the
burn.
market of like double bolting or something, but hold on. 6, 7, 14. 14 plus. Are we? Do we want to put them on nothing but Boros Charm and then we just kill them with sword next turn? Do you think that's a line?
I don't know if I'd go for it with 3 cards in hand. If they had like 1 card in hand, you knew it was a Boros charm, I'd make them top deck a win.
Mm-hmm.
But with 3 cards, I think the odds of them having 2 burn spells is pretty good. And I
I
don't
just
know if
don't
it's
like the idea of letting it untap, right? Like another draw step.
right.
But I think either way it's going to be kind of tough.
Like, I don't like it, but I like the idea of saying I beat 2 burn spells right now,
Yeah.
especially
They
if they
un
don't cast one.
But they
So
untapped, yeah. What does that mean? Why didn't they tap it? Or why didn't they cast it?
I think that's a sign that they don't have lethal burn in hand. Um, whether it's they uh, don't have enough burn or just don't have the ability to cast everything, I don't know. But I think it's they don't have lethal burn.
Yeah. I think I like equipping this with Forest and Temple Garden in case we draw Fatal Push or discard spell. What
I
do you
agree.
think?
Agree completely.
It's official. You suck.
We need to stop that now.
No, we don't. Keep it going. Don't listen to Kevin. He sucks.
It's official. You suck.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Not like that would have done anything. Okay. That
I
was
have to
probably when
assume
they.
this is fire off 2 burn spells, untap, and hope to have the win. That's
Yeah.
my guess.
Okay.
I was really hoping that was the Searing Blaze there. I was gonna
Yeah.
laugh.
Oh my god, the prismatic ending. Oh my goodness.
I'm never playing this prismatic ending card again. Like, God, it's looked bad the whole league.
Oh my god.
Just every time.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I
How
mean,
do
we
you
got.
sideboard here? Do we just cut all the Thoughtseize in Street Race?
I would cut just the wraiths for Batterskull 3 Kai's the reason being is Thoughtseize in the matchups for Shadow, it's saving you a life and it's worth it in that regard because like you still want to get your life total down for Shadow,
Hmm.
but the information is extremely nice to have.
So we just gonna roll like this? Maybe board these guys up?
Funny enough, you could bring in Void Mirror and really mess up some Rift Bolts,
No
but
god.
no, please don't do that.
Alright. We got this. I believe. Well, here's your double Thoughtseize fetch land, double
I
bauble.
mean, to me, this looks great, but it's probably not a keep for this deck. I think we've got better things that we can do, and we're taking a whole bunch of damage with no way to regain ourselves. If this
Yeah.
Liliana were a shadow, I would say
Mhm.
snap keep.
Yeah.
Easy snap keep.
Yeah.
But as it is, I think I would toss it back. Way
Okay.
better.
Yeah. Did you ever think we could get more than 1K? I did not, Lonely Isotope. I know you were one of the believers that we can get to that point, but I was definitely not a believer. I will be the first to admit that. Opponent Mulligan a 5. So what do we like here? Do you like just going Overgrown Tomb tapped, assuming we're going to get basic planes here, and just to save the max amount of life?
I like that.
Because we could go like shock, fetch a shock here, but then we take 2 damage here. So we take like 2 points unnecessary to try to cast a Stoneforge Mystic on turn 2. That's kind of like
Right.
where I'm coming from. So then here, do we just ending the Swiss Sphere?
You tell me, you're the Stoneforge player.
I think I do. Well, I don't know what you want to do.
I don't know what the better path is.
I'd rather ending here because like the card that really screws us is like Searing Blaze, and then if they go Searing Blaze, we just take so much damage and have no board state.
Let's do it then.
So let's get Plains off of Heath probably.
And it's kind of funny how different the line of thinking is between like you coming from the Abzan background and me coming from the shadow side. Because my thought process is like, I don't care about the Switch Spear. Like, if that deals extra damage to me, I'm just growing shadows.
Yeah, I think if I had a Shadow in hand, I think I would care less. But like, I think I just lost so many games where like just getting dealt a bunch of damage unnecessarily,
Uh-huh.
like through
It's like
Searing
my
Blaze
whole
plus Power Triggers.
right, my whole thought process is just like I don't want to die to an Eidolon,
Mm,
and I feel like keeping Prismatic Ending in hand gives me that out to Eidolon.
I see. Well, what do I do here? I kind of lean towards Stoneforge Mystic, play flats to hold up Fatal Push. Or what do you think?
Um,
I think it's better than Lingering
I
Souls, though.
guess if Stoneforge dies, it's not the end of the world because they're just like 2 lands away from hard casting Batterskull anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And we're like 18 going to turn 3. Like, it's not a bad position.
well, don't say that too loud. My shadow side can't handle it. 18 life. Ugh. Ugh.
The thing about though is like in this deck, like how consistently can we really cast this Batterskull? Like hard casting it, I feel like it's not likely. But I feel like
Shouldn't
it's
be likely, but I feel like we've been at that point several times this league.
yeah, that's
We're-
true. What? Oh, they're just digging to an answer for the Stoneforge. But see? Don't you just love this? They're just quivering right now. Oh, spoke too
Doesn't
soon.
look like quivering. That's a
Okay.
game of life. Or we could
Me?
just like fetch up a basic swamp, lingering souls, play a tapped overgrown tomb.
I think so. I don't think there's a need to cast his Thoughtseize, right?
I don't think so. With 4 cards in hand, like they're probably not going to be able to empty their hand next turn.
Yeah.
Steven says we're now $1,000 over the initial goal. Nice.
What?
That's
Oh,
insane. So up over
oh my
1,200, I
god.
guess.
Yeah. Hold on. This is a bird match. It's not gonna take that long. I can take a look. Data attack. John, you donated again. Oh my god, you guys keep donating, you guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're at $1,263. That's insane. Would not have expected that. Thank everyone so much. Savoring souls here. Alrighty.
And it's going to feel really bad if they're sitting here with like double deflecting palm in hand, staring
Yeah.
down a couple souls tokens.
Okay. Okay. Oh, this Thoughtseize is really awkward. Ooh.
Looks fine to me.
Gain 4, make a dude?
Um, are we just like holding off on the Thoughtseize, you think? Or are we casting it?
We go to 12. They had Exile Riftbolt, did they? No. So I guess we could... Do you think 10 is reasonable to Thoughtseize something? I guess so, huh? Just to save 2 life at that point.
Like, I think I would attack in Thoughtseize just to get not only the information, but if they don't have anything and Thoughtseize misses, then the Kai's great anyway. If they do have something, then you're saving a life here.
Oh. It's okay. That's just good info anyway. So do we just... I think I just... Main phases now and just gain 4 and make a 1-1.
I like it.
Just to play on Skullcrack.
Oh, you mean like you didn't do earlier in that last league?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Like
Those details.
5 straight turns of, oh, I could play this Kai's gal. No. Oh, they got the skull crack. 7 draws.
Don't worry about those details. I wanted to maximize the value out of that Kaya's guy, okay? It's all about maximum value.
Here I was thinking it was all about not dying.
Okay. Stalling turn. So, basic forest or fetch land, we can get a Bashkal online? Okay, that works too. We just get the Bashkal online, right?
Yeah.
We're not scared of triple bolt.
I'm a little scared of triple bolt. Not so much at the moment, but just in general. This is also really cool because it gives us revolt next turn for the push on Luris.
Mm.
Not that the Luris is getting them some obscene about a value anyway, but
Yeah. What is happening?
Priest of Gix, I'm not scared of triple bolt. See, I agree. It's not that I'm not scared of triple bolt, it's just that I'm not scared of triple bolt.
Our opponent's like in the tank, or they went to the bathroom. One of the two.
Maybe they have a tank in their bathroom. Who am I to say what my opponent can or can't do with their living space?
So they have Lurst, Foundry, 2 unknown. Suspend Riftbolt.
Okay.
Looks like they're casting Lurst. That's perfectly fine.
I think
Pay the
this is
Foundry.
pretty well game
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Just gonna revolt the Peatland. Push the Lurst. Why?
Taking you out of the deck immediately.
Let's push this Flash Souls attack. And this is kind of why I don't like Cauldron Complot. It's just like, naturally drawing it is just so bad.
Right. It
Don't
looks
you just-
great if you've got a Stoneforge out and the Stoneforge lives, but
Yeah.
just so much worse every other time.
Don't you just love Batterskull? Isn't Batterskull great here? Batterskull's fantastic. Come on. Come on. Look at this.
Like-
This is just... Our opponent is in so much misery here.
It's like 6 out of 10. Would Batterskull again, maybe.
6 out of 10? The Batterskull won us the game there. We hardcasted it. Like, that was our only clock.
I don't know if it won us the game because, like, opponent wasn't doing anything relevant. But
It won us the game. Don't talk to my Batterskull like that. It won us the game. See that dude that's flung off? That's our burner opponent right there.
what kind of a mechanic is living weapon anyway?
Are we-
Do you want to take out the Cauldron?
now you know why I want to take out the Cauldron. Now you're getting it.
Throwing ideas out there. Like,
I mean, what do you want instead? Just to Vindicate?
I don't know.
Like, there's not many good options.
All right, keep the Cauldron.
Let's keep the Cauldron. The odd chance that we like have a Stoneforge Mystic and just have it stick. I don't know.
See, JTHD says Courser. I'm guessing Courser crew fix over Cauldron, or over Batterskull. Sorry. Is that true? Is that an Abzan consensus?
No, when was the last time Corso Crucix 5-0'd in any list? John just has a very like man crush heavy, like some unjustified love for Corso Crucix for some reason, and it's awful. Are we bowling this hand? This is like so close, isn't it?
It is. I'd probably ship it just because, like, I think you need some sort of a removal spell in this matchup. Doesn't have to be a great one, but I just think you have to answer a dude. This
seems
is
fine.
good.
What do we bottom here?
Liliana?
I think so
Just,
too.
like, not getting to double black right away.
Yeah. Hopefully they go turn 1 not a dude. Suspend Riftbolt would be great.
Doesn't appear that they're listening to you.
Swiss Sphere. Okay. It's awkward that we are forced to fetch shock here. Oh, I guess not. Are we just shocking an overgrown tomb now?
Yeah, I think just shock Overgrown Tomb. That way we can get the planes off the Windswept Teeth later.
Mm-hmm.
So we got like good curve out of just Inquisition into Goyf into Kaya's Gal.
Yeah.
Come on, give us an Eidolon to take.
Oh, an idol would be so good. Oh.
Oh!
Okay. That's just also good because now the Swiss
Love it.
Sphere can't grow either. Like, they have double suspended Reef Bolts. Like, that's not going to do anything. And they want to main phase a
Love it.
Skullcrack. Like, sure.
All right.
Okay, this is shaping up to be okay. Alright, Misa,
Are we gonna double suspend?
probably. And then it sucks that our Goyfs die, but if they spend both of them, oh, what is this? Oh, that's
Sure.
fine. That's
Yeah.
actually really good for us because then this Tormaglyph is for sure sticking.
Right, and then if they have to spend mana suspending Rift Bolt next turn, they might just get free Kaya's Guile and not
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about Skull Crack.
Mm-hmm. This is looking
Yeah.
decent. Like now we just like they probably double suspend. We know all the cards in there is just double Rift Bolt, Skull Crack. I
They
don't think
double
they're just gonna. Sorry.
if they double suspend, are we just like firing off the Kaya's Guile and
I think so.
well, you said
Okay.
so. Called shots. Yeah, I like firing off the Kaya's Guile here and just like getting the guaranteed life
Yeah.
gain removal spell.
Yeah, I do too. Get planes off the heath, and then we can get swamp with the flats later.
So I
Get
think
in
there's
there.
a chance that they might have to like upkeep, just throw double double Rift Bolt or whatever at the Tarmogoyf.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But that's fine as we're just sitting pretty at 14 life. Like, no worries.
Right.
And we just have a backup Tarmogoyf here. I feel like they're kind of in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And I feel like if they're suspending, if they're going to hit the Rift Bolt at us as 9 points of damage that we know about, and we just have lethal 2 turns from now.
Right.
So,
So this would put us down to 8. All right. So yeah, they're
no,
going
they're
after the
going to go.
Goyf.
Which is like perfectly fine with us. We're at 14 life with a backup Goyf.
Right.
And this Thoughtseize is just probably just for Luris, right?
Um,
Do we crack that?
I'm just wondering, like, they haven't played a land in 2 turns. We know they've got Skull Crack, so there's a good chance that like this Thoughtseize is just hitting something
Mm-hmm.
if we decide to cast it. We can wait for the Luris, but if they don't hit lands and they don't play or don't add Luris, then this Thoughtseize isn't going to do anything.
So you just want
Yeah.
Thoughtseize now?
I think so. I think I like just firing it off.
I like it because
Make
if they
sure
have like,
Goy didn't.
yeah, I like it's like if they have like Path too, I feel like there might be an argument for taking that as well.
Right. But I think this is almost like guaranteed to hit something.
Yeah.
And the longer we go, the more chances it has of just being dead.
So we go to 9. Oh. We just take the steering place.
Yeah. Good old smash to smithereens. All right, so if opponent plays out their liquid metal coating and turns our Tarmogoyf into an artifact, we need to be scared.
Oh, mercy. Oh, what is this? Goblin Guide. Interesting.
Removal spell one time.
We got so punished there. So punished.
So we want to just crack the Peatland?
Yeah, probably crack it off the forest, right? In case we hit ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ending.
God, we laugh at the smash the smithereens, and this is what happens.
Yeah. Do we attack?
Are we? I don't know. So it's a 3-turn clock, which means they're at least putting us down to 5 with the Goblin Guide. So we're dead if they rip burn spell, burn spell. But otherwise, we win the race. I'm gonna say attack.
I think so too, because like if they draw a land, they get a Lurrus, and then we just can't beat the Lurrus engine.
Right.
So I think I like attacking here. And then like Goblin Guy can also just give us a pseudo scry trick too, worst case scenario. Or if we hit a land off the Goblin Guy, that's fine too.
Yeah, and I'd get this overgrown tomb down as
Oh,
well, and like
we cracked it, so we can't. Like we
oh,
played Pete Land and cracked it, yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Good call.
So Mishra's Bauble would be a great draw because that's lethal.
Yep.
Mars Flats, okay. Thank
Goblin
you.
Guy clearing off the top.
Yep. What is our last card? If they go land, put Lurrus in hand. Oh. Okay. Well, now we can't attack. Bobble. Damn it. Now we can't attack, right?
Just depends on if we want to say we're dead to a top deck burn spell or not. Like, so if we swing, we're just dead to any burn spell.
Yeah. And we're dead to any
we're also
creature.
We're not dead to Swift Spear. We're dead to. I guess we're dead to Swift Spear, just like blocking on their next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say tap, shock, land, and pass. I don't want to. Like, I want to attack and not give them a draw step. Maybe that's better.
The problem is if they... What's a whiff, right? A whiff is if they draw a land and they get Lurrus in hand.
Land, another smash to smithereens. Rift Bolt. Kind of. Searing Blaze.
I kind of like attacking then. Because that's a lot of
Alright.
dead cards. Because like,
Let's do it.
what's a scenario where we win where we don't attack? We hope to draw something else?
Hope to draw removal is about it.
Yeah, but then they're forced to... Then they get like 2 extra draw steps, right? At that point.
Right.
I kind of like attacking, no?
Slayer Fall creature is situationally a whiff. Like, Goblin Guide kills us. Another Goblin Guide.
Yeah. But
Swift Spear, we live, but Swift Spear can block, so we can't attack the next turn. So it's not... it doesn't kill us, but it prevents us from killing them. Yeah.
I like attacking.
I'm down. I've accepted that a burn spell off the top kills us. Don't do it, opponent. Whatever it is you're thinking of doing, I'll do it. I really hope they drew like a fetch land or a sacred foundry or something.
Damn it. Is it another creature?
Maybe like an Eidolon or something.
Tarmogoyf.
Alright. Eidolon. Yeah.
Oh.
Alright.
Okay, do we want to draw this Goyf?
Yes. Because we attack with the first Goyf. they have to block. We play second Goyf to block their Goblin Guide. And it's just, again, relying on their top deck. Like, if we don't draw the Goyf, we can't play a removal spell or anything into this Eidolon anyway.
Yeah. We can't play Battle Scroll into a Smash. There's a Smash thing there.
God, no, we could have played Batter Skull because they can't smash it at 1 life. So we can't play Batter Skull. We could not attack and play it. I don't think it... Does it change anything? Like, if we...
This game is insane.
Wait, can we... No, don't attack, play Batter Skull. We can't lose.
Yeah.
They can't cast anything.
Yeah. Don't attack, play Batter Skull.
Yeah. No attack, play Batter Skull.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Opponent's so confused right now.
Love it. Love it.
Oh my god. Oh.
This is so great.
Oh my god. What did I say about Batter Skull? When will you show some respect, Mike?
Not today. Not today. That's when.
Oh my god. They do have outs here though. Like,
well, they have to like attack in with both, or attack in with Eidolon. Smash uses up all their mana.
You lose if we play Ugin here.
This is so weird.
Oh my god, what a game. We're both at 1. What is happening? Oh.
Yeah, like they need to attack with Eidolon because they have to unlock Smash.
Yeah.
So we have to, block with Batter Skull.
We go to 5, take 3, go to 2, equip Batter Skull on the Tarmogoyf, attack.
Well, no, they blow up Batter Skull.
Oh, you're right. So we need to just top deck a removal spell here?
Yes, again. Oh no, they're not supposed to pass here. Because now we can bounce the Batter Skull and stop the Smash.
Yeah, so they punted 100%.
They punted.
Yeah.
They punted so hard. Opponent, you had a chance.
Isn't Batter Skull great?
I will neither confirm nor deny the question at hand.
Oh, I love Batter Skull so much. Are they just out of no outer now? They're out of no outer now.
So, well, double bolt or like bolt plus skewer or something like that. Lava spike. Yes. Yes.
Oh my god. Batter Skull. Thank you very much. Why is Batter Skull a sideboard?
Because the person who mistakenly constructed this deck did not put any respect on Batter Skull's name.
Algavar, 3-2 means it's a real deck. You all saw it exactly. You just constructed such a beautiful deck.
It's the Jun 5-0. Realistically, if anybody wanted to continue with Abzan Shadow, I would say cut Street Wraiths, Liliana's Sword, Cauldra, Stone Forges, Prismatic Endings, and just fill it back in with like Path Exile, Hex Drinker, better cards, whatever you want them to be.
Conversely, you can just cut the Street Wraith, cut the Death Shadows, cut the
Whoa,
Cauldron.
whoa.
Play some Lurrus in the main here.
Hush your mouth.
That was kind of funny how we like kind of down in the dumps. Like the game was the first two matches, honestly, like the first match we went to 5 games 2 and 3.
It's
Like,
official.
That
You
so
suck.
I feel like the deck has a lot of powerful pieces, even though it is kind of clunky. But I feel like it's just, you know, the individual pieces pulling weight, and I feel like at least we got a 3-2 out of it, which is pretty decent in my opinion.
I had no doubt that we were going to go positive. Like, I'm a little disappointed we couldn't pull out one of those 2 losses, but we're playing with a deck that hasn't been put through its paces yet, so we didn't know
Yeah.
what we wanted or didn't want or anything like that.
Mhm.
But I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good league.
Honestly, as a first draft, this was a pretty fun league.
And
Honestly.
you can't blame me for burning any ticks now since we went positive. So.
Technically, we got one one chest above breaking even, so that's pretty good.
Priest of Gix says $30 short of $1,300. Somebody
goodness.
go get a donation in.
Oh my! I gotta update the current
Kevin's
total
got a
right
raffle here in a minute. Get your
Yeah.
money in. Get your raffle tickets.
Cauldron is the worst card in the deck, 100%. I feel like all these like Orzhov lists are like 5-0ing with like Cauldron, and I'm like, I don't understand how. Like every time I slam a Stoneforge Mystic, it like dies.
I would say Cauldron was terrible. Prismatic Ending was terrible. And having like 7 3-drops in the board was terrible. And then
Yeah.
after that, everything else was kind of like normal Abzan or Shadow things.
Well, what's weird is like, Prismatic Ending's really good in like Abzan midrange, and it's just weird how like in this deck it's like really bad. Like every time I've drawn it this league, it was awful, but every time I had it in like previous like Abzan, it's like it's a great card.
Right.
just-
And it doesn't make a lot of sense because we did get like the weird end of variance on the matchups where we just saw the stupid flying thing that draws cards and Murktide Regent and all these huge CMC cards that like Prismatic Ending's never going to deal with anyway.
Yeah.
But you probably have like Path to Exile in those decks to kind of shore up that weakness as well.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, you just like don't have that backup plan.
Mm-hmm. And then Agabar in the chat says Cauldron is a huge problem for the red black spike deck. It is, but like that deck also runs like place at a bolt and a place at an unholy heat. So having a Stoneforge Mystic stick is just like impossible. Versus like a Tormorwave would just sit there, and the deck does not run Fatal Push. So like Cauldron is just so like you hit one ceiling. I feel like what's happening is a lot of people play Stoneforge Mystic and they hit that ceiling of like didn't hit a removal spell and Cauldron won the game. But in reality, like with a bigger sample size, Stoneforge Mystic always dies, and then Cauldron is just stuck in your hand.
Yeah, like coming from the Shadow side, there's so few times that you care about like Batterskull or Cauldron or whatever because you're always just killing the Stoneforge and the game's probably ending before they hardcast Batterskull, or if they do, you just fatal push it and like swing through for lethal. And I feel like that's the same thing that the red black deck's doing. Just yeah, cool. You got a 7-drop or a 5-drop in your hand or whatever. Like you're not going to be alive long enough for that to matter.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where like it's not like this Cauldron is like actually indestructible in the sense that like it doesn't die anything. Like there's actually a lot of answers in the format right now. Like even in the main, there's like Brazen Borrower out of like the Cascade decks, Dismember out of like Amulets and Tron. And like in practice, when I'm playing against Tron, more often than not, I'd rather just get a Sword and Feast of Him because I want to attack the hand. You know what I mean? So like yeah, it's a quick clock, and that's what I was hoping the Cauldron would like fill in the gaps and hopefully fix their bad matchups. But in reality, it's like you're often not tutoring for it anyway. So It
Makes
just
sense.
and I was hoping maybe this match would change or in this deck it would change because this deck is slightly more aggressive. But again, Stoneforge missed. It's kind of ironic because we have a deck of Death Shadows and Tarmogoyfs that don't die to Bolt. So the only thing that kills that if anything dies in our deck is Stoneforge Mystic. So it's going to die.
That's fair
So
as well.
yeah.
That's very fair.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I don't know if you want to stay on for the raffle, but I think we'll end the YouTube video here. So for those who want to check out the Control Freak, do you want to type in your Twitch name in the chat? Because I always forget an N and there's like an underscore somewhere. I
I
want to make
suppose I can.
I want to make sure everyone can follow you because again, Mike is one of my favorite streamers. Just great content. And as you saw, like even during the stream, wow, such doge, thank you for the follow. Yeah, as you saw in the stream where we just like talked through our lines and like luckily we didn't lose any games at the time, but like just kind of like the thought process and just elaborating and like I just saw like I felt like I was like overly anal about what land to play, but like those stuff matters in this deck, right? Like you can't be willy-nilly about what fetch to play because if you use your windswept heap and you need a basic swamp leader, like that matters, right?
Right.
Sorry, just
It really does. Like obviously me coming from the shadow background, those little micro decisions add up over time. Like you lose so many games because you played the wrong fetch land on turn 1 and that ended up costing you on turn 4. And like with a lot of the mid-range decks, you can kind of get away with that a little bit more.
yeah, a little
But
bit.
Shadow dealing with these thin little margins, it's a whole different ball game. But I definitely appreciate you running through the deck with me, and I thought it was a blast. Even if we only got a 3-2,
Hey,
yeah, the next time we'll go for the 5-0.
we have a positive win rate for us co-streaming. I will take that. A
I'm
winning
right there with
record.
you.
A winning record is a winning record. Okay.
No, you're right. Like positive record 3-2 with a rough draft of a deck that nobody's played any time recently, hadn't come up with any kind of results.
Mm-mm.
And even like the losses outside of the Molda 5 games didn't feel that bad. It felt like there was potential. And that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, like even the Mold 5 games, like we were close. We were just like one resource away from winning the game, right? And that's magic,
Right.
right? Like, and I feel like that's why you can't be too results oriented. I feel like when you kind of make these kind of brews. Like I was talking to Aspiring Spike actually, just kind of because he's always like the brew master, right? And I was like, do you? Because I have this kind of same feeling where like no one's playing Abzan. I'm kind of solo on this, you know. So I'm like, I don't really have like a list to base off of, and I'm just kind of just brewing stuff, even though it's just within a specific archetype. And I was talking to him, and it's like I had this feeling where you can't really be results oriented. You really have to base it by feel because there's games where you don't draw a third land, or sometimes you just get just awkward things happen in Magic, but you can kind of get a general sense of power level. And there are some dyssynergies in the deck, and I feel like there are some pieces that probably synergize better, but I think the record does showcase kind of the floor of the deck, which is not as low as I thought it would be. And I think 3-2 is very indicative of probably how this deck plays out if someone really is stubborn and wants to play Abzan Shadow, because there's probably better variants of a Death Shadow deck for sure. I'm sure you would agree. But
100%.
yeah, but I think just pulling weights, even like the sword gave us a shot in one of the matchups where we equipped it to a shadow and we're just 1 point short of lethal. Like stuff like that was kind of cool to kind of see that we haven't seen before. Well, I'm sure you did with your Esper list, but in general, it's not something you see often. So
Right. And I think there were plenty of times over the course of that league where we're saying something like, all right, if we see one removal spell here, we're right in the thick of it, or we probably win this game. If we see one Kaya's Gal here, if we see a answer for that Ragavan or whatever here, like
yeah.
we're in good shape. And we just didn't see those things. And I think that's a pretty good indicator to me that like the deck's not unreasonable or completely unplayable or anything like that if you just have a chance in every match.
And I honestly, since this is like my first Death Shadow League, and it's nice to kind of pick your brain, like when, like I felt like I was like, when do you shock? When do you get a basic? Do you play a P land here? How often do you have to damage yourself? And it's like, it's interesting. Death Shadow is an interesting Magic card, and it's definitely, I think a tightrope is like the perfect analogy for it. Like, like how you, the balance you have to find is just so difficult. You know, like you say, there's like general rules. You want to play between 7 and 9 life, right? And then now cards like Unholy Heat early in the format, right? So does that change the formula? You know, and it's just a constant adaptation as a Shadow player, right? So.
Right. No, that's extremely well said. Like you're constantly trying to make these mental schema of how certain matchups should go and where like your safe zone is, when you should be aggressive, when you should be passive. And I can say that like I've played the deck almost exclusively for 3 or 4 years now, and I don't have good answers for like 99% of the questions around it. Like,
Honestly, if I like played this by myself, I'd be like, I have no idea if I should shock or like. It's like, how do you know? Because like, now, because you say you want to be at 7, right? So you don't get double bolted out, but that leaves you open to Unholy Heat. So like, if Death Shadow is like your only threat, is it safe to go to 7, and then you're just gonna die to double bolt, which is a very reasonable thing to be scared of and to play around.
right.
And I know you haven't played since Modern Horizons has been released, so I'm actually looking forward to your streams and how are you going to pilot around that, because that's going to be very interesting to watch and pick your brain about.
Yeah, and I mean, you get into so many situations where it's like, all right, I need to be at 7 life. I fetch shock, thought seize, fetch shock, get a shadow down, and then I top deck a street raid. And now, do I just accept that that's a dead card? Do I change up my plan on the fly? Do I get more passive the next game in case I draw a street wraith again? Like, what do I do? What do I do?
I mean,
And
even against that bird, there's a once, I thought it was a dead card game one, but there's like one spot where you're like, you know, this might be a worthwhile cycle, and we ended up opting out of that line. But like, it's cool to see when you would even consider it, right? Because like, I feel like for me, who was kind of a non-shadow player, it's like dead card, not even think about it. But it's kind of cool how you point out, well, in this scenario we actually might want to. And those are kind of like those like micro, very very niche situations where it's like, you know, that's actually a really cool line that might have worked out if we didn't have a threat in play and really need a shadow. And I can imagine that line like working out, you know. So
right. And like from my side as a shadow player, getting to see cards like Stoneforge and Batterskull, Kaya's Guile, like put in a lot of work. That's cool because like these are cards that I can play in a shadow deck as it's getting a little bit more mid-rangey, a little bit grindier, a little bit bigger, and I get a better idea of like when these cards are good, when to use them, when to not use them, when do I need to do something else instead, when do I need to sit back and hold up the removal. It's like it's a good give and take to run through a league like this and hopefully expand both horizons a little bit.
I don't I don't know if I'll ever be able to play Death Shadow as good as you though. That's like an impossible feat. I'm just like, what are we doing, Mike? I don't know what to do here.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm not about to go out and trophy with Toskis or Yorions or anything like that. So we can be even on that one.
That's fair. I just want to point out that Batterskull, after you shat on it, won us 2 matches. 2 matches.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see it.
And I just love chat's line of just like screaming, like, don't attack, play the Batterskull. We're like, oh yeah, let's go. Like, they can't do anything. Like, that was, and like, even then, like, that burn opponent had a shot. Like, they had a line to win too, which is insane.
Well, I'm not used to playing cards that don't trigger Eidolon, so I didn't even know they existed.
What do you mean?
Like,
you don't hardcast Street Wraith? Come on.
I haven't gotten to play much Street Wraith in the last, like, 6 months because of Jund Shadow.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm missing out over here.
So you are probably hitting some a chord of nostalgia where you're like, "Ooh, street! I'm gonna add Street Wraith into this deck. Can't play Lures
Uh,
anyway."
well, exactly. Like as soon as I saw, oh, if I'm gonna throw in Stoneforge to appease you, and there's gonna be swords and Batterskull, then I can't play Luris. Might as well run Street Wraith. Like whether I don't think it's optimal. I think Luris is just better, but I can at least give it a shot.
I really wish we had a game where we hardcast a Street Wraith and equipped a sword to it, and we were against like a black deck. Just so
That
it's
would
like
have
a
been
that would have been
perfect.
that would have been so much fun. One of these
Yeah,
days.
like I think the current meta is just like so full of lightning bolt decks and aggressive creature decks that like
Hmm.
Street Wraith kind of looks subpar anyway.
Hmm.
Uh, and if you're not playing Street Wraith, then there's almost no reason not to play Luris in your shadow builds right now.
Hmm.
And you mentioned like even playing Luris in the main deck of the Abzan decks, because if you're already playing like Bauble and Tarmogoyf Stoneforge, then just throwing in a couple Lurises is fine. And I think that's a pretty good bit of insight. Like I would
Hmm.
absolutely suggest not leaving home without your Luris in almost any Thoughtseize deck anymore.
Yeah. Alright, I think we'll call the video here. Again, thank you, Control Freak, for tuning in and joining me on this wonderful deck. Do you have any last words? Other than if chat, please shoot Control Freak a follow. Amazing stream. I hope you guys got a lot of entertainment and it was a learning process, just picking his brain. So thank you again for tuning in and hanging out with me, Mike. Do you have any last words before we call it?
Uh, Thank you again for the invite. Definitely hope the charity goes as well as expected. It's been awesome to keep up with that. Otherwise, fuck Tron.
Fuck Tron, let's go. Alright, take it easy, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you guys next time on YouTube. If you guys want to like and subscribe, please go for it. And also check out Control Freak stream. Really appreciate it. Catch you guys next time. Bye.